Welcome to Mori. Oh, nice. Fourth guy gaming. Right. We're at episode 86. Me with HxH, Koma, and Qbhall.
Hi.
How's it going?
Here's Leo? No? Alright. Well, we got some stuff. Maybe some extra stuff, because I shared with some YKK merching on a certain watch that's only 3 mate or something for a lottery item.
Yeah. Would you like to buy it?
I don't know, for that price, I'll
I mean,
pass.
even if in another one pops out and it's around the same price, if not more expensive, considering the fact that there are only three, as far as we know, out there, it's not even that much that expensive, if you know what I mean. And
I mean,
it would be
I
way more expensive if it was another series. I don't know, something more popular like I don't know, Berserk or anything that
yeah,
famous. But
probably if it's a big
considering
war.
how niche AKK is,
Yeah,
yes, it is
doubt anybody would
expensive,
buy it.
but for a die-hard collector, it's not that unreal to have to pay, to be willing to pay that amount for something so rare. But I don't know if I would do it personally. I don't know. I mean, I have to find myself in the situation and have the listing in front of my eyes. Otherwise, it would be just speculation.
Yeah,
Cool
I've
stuff,
seen stuff
nonetheless. Hmm?
black and white. Hmm. I mean, I know from like old sites from U.S. government presidents when they were trying to campaign themselves. Those sites are also still up from like the 90s, like mid 90s are still up. I'm like, why the hell would you keep up those if those people are like or gone or like never won? So I'm like, I don't know, what would be the point of that?
Mm. But this website is a very nice uh,
Yeah,
time
time
capsule.
capsule. Yeah,
Yeah, from back in the day, from the early 2000s.
yeah, and I got this CD,
I
and
wonder,
now I need the real
I,
CD.
I wonder what they talked about in the BBS chat when it used to be
Mm,
active until up till 2004.
Probably about the OVA, obviously, but maybe some other
Mm,
products, a certain watch, maybe.
anything about the AKK or any other manga, like any
I
other
mean, maybe
podium
something
comic.
similar that they wanted, but never was. I mean, there was not much else like YKK at the time. Like
Wait, the
nowadays, you get
section,
way more.
the link section is something that I haven't checked. It's interesting that there is one.
Yeah, mostly for fan sites they do that, but
Yes, but the fact that there used to be fan sites,
yeah, oh,
and of course all of these links
orange
are dead.
teapots. Oh, a lot of these sites are dead. Orange teapots.
But you could try to copy paste them on
Yeah,
Internet
yeah,
Archive
yeah, yeah.
and see if
Maybe
anything
do
pops
that.
out. It's a good
Uh,
way
yeah,
to see if
yes,
the
copy. Uh, mm, archive, paste, block. Let me see. 2004.
one is reachable. It's possible to reach.
Hmm.
My God, this website is so old. And of course, you cannot understand anything since everything is written in
Nope.
Japanese.
Hmm. This one if wants to loop. Oh yeah. Yokoshina official website. Okay. Yeah, company or so. Yeah, company for the music, I guess. Yeah. Diary, mobile, BBS, BN, mobile. Oh, well, they probably had a pop up for like the flip phones or something. That's what mobile is. Pretty sure. That's funny. Yeah, this is a flip phone. Oh.
They're making a comeback. Don't be fooled.
I mean, I guess in Japan it was way more offensive than we ever had here, so that's why they were never interested in the iPhone when it came out, because they already had it basically.
Yeah, I was looking at that, like how they have their own. It's almost like a totally different ecosystem of phones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're all company basically.
One interesting thing,
Afternoon.
Koma might know about this. There's a lot of games that were made for these ancient Japanese phones that are
Yes, I
kind of
know.
lost media. Yeah,
Flash games.
more than Flash. Some of them were like early 3D games, and this was before Android, long before Android. So in the days of the PS1, they were like a spin-off Mega Man Legends game exclusive to
Mm.
these phones. Kind of wild.
Meh.
What the fuck is this sound?
Oh, that was animation by them. Afternoon from 2004. Cute.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
hey, NIE! The fuck? Oh, the art book? What the fuck? The fuck?
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
Yokohama.
Ooh. Interested. Ooh, I
There's
know
your
that.
friend Leo. Is
Blame and so on.
This little
Damn.
fun site is like very, very 90s, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it would be nice
you
to
know
check
what?
every site to see what you can find, what you can read.
Yeah. The August
I
issue
kind of
of
like it though.
special CD-ROM. Forbidden Grand Collaboration movie. It's packed with playful installations by each artist. Ooh, that's something I must have now.
I wonder
That
if
is fine.
there are other info that we can get from other languages. Like if I go to search stuff for EAKK in Chinese, I would be able to find some more stuff that I wouldn't find otherwise. There is a lot of digging to do.
Yeah. What is manga even like in China? Is there like a large penetration? Is there a lot of fans of it, or is that?
Yes,
I know some media is controlled. Is that one
there
of
used
them
to
that is?
there used to be like a fan page on the Chinese website Baidu, that is a social media website, and there was people there with lots of merchandise, and who knows if they are still active.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good.
You
Funny
work
enough,
now?
I talked to a Chinese Blame fan not too long ago.
Oh, how was
Yeah,
that?
he was telling me that the kanji in Blame is like more similar to like traditional Chinese.
Oh, funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, he
So
said it's
I don't
almost
know
like
anything about.
I was to say he said it's almost like the Japanese is like degrading back to its original form.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's
So
only
like,
the
so
kanji
I don't
that's
know
like
any,
written on stuff.
Uh-huh. You probably don't know about this pic with the bird here. That's funny, eh?
I wonder who did the art for Blame then, because it says it was if it's done by each artist, so someone must have done one for Blame then.
Well, yeah, the picture you have here, that's by Nie.
Yeah,
know
but
that.
did someone draw blame too? It says it's packed with playful illustrations drawn by each artist. Or is it
Yeah,
just,
but
oh,
they
okay, it's just for
draw.
that. Okay.
Yeah, it was like each artist draws their own thing, so it's not particularly.
Oh, I thought it was like an
blamed.
actual series or something.
Nah. That was just stuff that everybody wanted to make. Like for BBB, for instance, just whatever came up.
His a lot of his 2000s art's like pretty hard to find now because he just like would draw like a random postcard here or there and just never re-release it.
Yeah, stuck in magazines or yeah, basically stuck in magazines and nobody in.
Right. So this,
Or in that one guy's collection.
Yeah, or big friends. That's just all this treasure chest that we robbed, basically.
Yeah, because I was like, man, I've never seen the calendar or the other thing, and he popped out with both of them, and I was like, oh, okay.
wait,
Yeah,
so the guy
well,
actually
you
says
know,
them. He shows them.
Yeah, I've seen the calendar now. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now,
I mean,
I know
those were
some people
moments.
they lock it up and never release it again, and that's part of the value. You know what I mean?
So someone did that with the original copy of NetSphere Engineer. They posted it once, and then it's never been posted again.
Damn. Well, I hope somebody downloaded them pictures.
I mean,
got
client
'em.
arts are easy. I mean, fairly easy to find, as far as I can tell, on Mercari
Okay.
and other sites like these in Japan.
Oh no, I mean like
I've never seen Basatsu Morning, but I don't know. Someone probably else has.
I mean,
yeah, that
guy also had a poster for like a Metro ad that he had. That's like something I never seen, like an ad from back in the day for Blam. That has to be rare. And a poster for an event that he went to like back in 2002. That's also pretty.
Was it a Japanese event?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that was all signed stuff, so that's why he didn't want to get rid of.
So yeah, good luck getting it.
But hey, we got stuff for like nada almost, like the magazine covers for everything. There's like, original price that you can find for $300 easily on.
It was pretty cool to get his Comic-Con Biomega poster too. It's a little beat up, but it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
It's huge,
So
though.
now-
I just don't know where to put it.
no, you can't discount the theory that he's purposefully creating and himself hoarding low amounts of media that he creates so that he could sell them secretly, under aliases online. I would do that. So
Just make some secret stuff and sign it every once in a while to sell it for a lot of money.
exactly, and just get some.
Not that
make
many
some-
people were interested in Blame back in the day, and he
No, you
didn't
don't
like
get it. It's guerrilla marketing. This is how you do it. Guerrilla marketing. Yeah.
I would love to have that the Gundam one he did, the little short he did.
Yeah. I mean, I have it. It's that's pretty inexpensive.
I just never see it available online when I look for it, unfortunately.
Oh, I see it all the time. It's like when I try to find other magazines for Gundam Ace, and I only find that one. So that's like really inexpensive.
So just remind me, please. You're looking at a flashback at the website that you were on just now to see how it looks at the time.
From 2004, basically their site.
Well, if you ever make any money from this podcast, you had to give some money to the Wayback Machine. Because I can't believe.
I mean, I do sometimes once per year. I'm gonna give them $20 or something like that.
Nice.
They deserve it.
For sure.
And-
They have a subscription service? I didn't even know that.
What afternoon?
Yeah.
No.
The Wayback Machine.
Oh no, they just have Patreon stuff. You can just not Patreon stuff. You can just send him money just once or twice and just get them on their feet because not a lot of people sending money, even though it's like really important to have nowadays. But yeah, other news. Asano is apparently into AI, or at least he wants to do background stuff with AI. The creator of
Right.
Toon.
Yeah, the talk of the month, if you can call it that.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
they are against
Honestly.
AI. I mean, to be fair, he has always done digital drawing for his backgrounds, even
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
from the very
Using
beginning. Yeah,
pictures and then converting them into drawings. Yeah.
yeah. It's
right. So, but
Mhm.
do you guys think there's a big difference between using a real picture that you took versus AI versus a picture that you took from a magazine? You know, like I would
I
rather
mean,
it was a picture that you
if,
took at least.
if
You
it's a
know.
picture, it's at least real life, so you can just convert to that, make some edits to it, and you have a drawing. With AI, it's just like almost majority of the time stolen stuff that they use for their learning programs, and they just use it for the manga. And
I
it's
think you're going
just
to get better results
even
taking real
later.
pictures too.
Hmm?
I think you'd get better results taking real pictures too. Like if you're going to
Yeah.
go take a picture of the city, there's no point of generating a city when you live in the biggest city in like the world, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about this? What if you took a picture, but it wasn't quite right, but you've already, but you're back to the studio. What if you use AI then to perfect it, quote unquote? You're not seeing me right now, but I do
All
need
over
to.
it. And just remove stuff that you don't want to. You have
You
an
could always
extra tree,
Photoshop.
remove the tree. Yeah, Photoshop, you just remove
Right,
it.
but I mean the let's say there's people in the scene and you don't want them. It will be a little difficult for you to recreate the stuff behind them if you just remove them roughly. What if AI could do that?
Then you just go with the flow, use the picture anyway. Nobody will notice anyway if it was meant to be or not, because people just flipping through it. Like, if your character has only 6 fingers and well, he has another one just 5, then I'm like, for a third eye,
No,
well,
no,
why
you
is
don't
it
understand
okay,
what
right?
what I'm saying is you're using the same picture that you yourself have taken, but it's
Yes.
still with a crowd and you want it without people. Just an example, and the AI is able to not just remove them, but to recreate what was behind them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's difficult to just clip people out. You have like a black space, you know?
Yeah, but I guess.
I don't know. I've seen some talented Photoshop people who can do the back stuff. You do have to fill it in
But,
though.
but right, but then I'm thinking, is it worth it to have a human do that when it's kind of mechanical anyway? You know what I mean?
I think if Asano was like a solo guy, but he's always had a team behind him.
Okay.
I think that would make more
Well,
sense.
well,
But he's not like Nihei. He's fairly popular.
okay.
Like
I've got
Moon in like Ninja, whatever is it, Ninja Graphic Hollow or whatever. I can't remember what the exact name is, but those are very popular series, like bestsellers.
I read a huge amount of this manga here. Now it's not that it's important, but they never address why he is whatever he is, right? He's just that. He's just an abstract character, like a bird.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised he chose this series to like do it with. Anyways, on probably one of his least compelling things I've read by him.
I don't know. I think
he's feeling writer's block or something. It's just I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of his fans are really feeling it either.
only
The subreddit's not
hard
happy.
at this point in time. It's like he wants to go the Benko way too, so the background stuff gets updated or just sped up, and then whatever he's been doing. So, but if they would lift the ban, then we could really get slop out there, like manga that's like unreadable or something like that, completely AI, and people trying to fix it, but
hold on. There's actually a ban on AI in manga right now. They forbidden it.
Yeah. In Japan, there's a ban that nothing can be edited by AI or created by AI. So that stuff escapes, made by humans than just AI. Because a lot of our new artists or some other people.
I kind of get it from the perspective of a publisher, though. Like, you can't put all this money into someone who you don't know can't even actually if they can draw or not.
Right,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
also they're also taking a moral from the point of view that they don't want these AI companies scraping their catalog and benefiting from it too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they can just copy from other artists and get a certain style into the manga or characters in there. Well, they have no permission to do that, or etc. 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 It sounds like a nightmare to be handling all the time. Like, who does who and who
And
stole from who, if you don't know.
and imagine this, right? Imagine the lawsuits from this. Well, your thing is clearly traced from my thing, right? Uh, but then they'll be, oh well, we changed it just enough. And also, what about the Dojin, the ones that the unofficial manga?
Yeah,
They can do what they want, right?
Yeah,
Dojins have
just-
always kind of confused me. Like, I don't understand how they're even legal in a place like Japan with such copyright.
I guess because they're seen as fan art and not particularly as we're taking the whole story and just copying it somewhere else, copy paste, and just do it in their own style, just make a version
All right,
of stuff.
but is there a Dojin that is extremely financially successful that they would take notice of? That is the question.
I think they have
Infinite,
made some into
popular.
mangas, like full-scale mangas, actually.
Right, like One Punch was started as one.
I think that was a webcomic.
Yeah, it was a webcomic.
Okay.
Mhm.
Does that count, or does it have to be a physical?
I think it has to be
work?
like a physical small print release to be considered a doujin. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, assaulted
Okay.
Comic Cat or online at the booth site, for instance. Like lots of blame stuff has been assaulted booth, for instance, to from certain events that they went to, or interviews, or art, or whatever. Like for Technolize, for instance, so like the people behind the booths, the doujinshis, have also worked with the original creators to get interviews and to get statements, etc., 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 and then put them in their books. Like that's kind of nice. And like such a small group, even to this day, trying to get on the, I don't know, 20th anniversary of fucking Desperate to get out. Like there's some progress on that, but it's been a long time since any achievements or whatnot.
Right. So he's hoping that they turn this around it- oh, and he's able to do this. Now, this manga that I see he's put on hiatus. Is it one that people like losing their minds for? Is it like Berserk?
No.
Yeah, basically. I mean, at the moment, it's pretty talked about as such an important mangaka or famous mangaka.
I think it's one of those things where a lot of people on the outside talk about it, but for people who are reading it, it's probably regarded as one of his least impactful works. Because I did not really click with it. I've read like the first, I think, 15 chapters, and it just does not for me, man, at all. And I love Cyberpunk. It's just not it.
Let me ask this question then. Let's say there was something as huge as Berserk, and it would take like a year to draw every chapter, but the guy has the story finished. Would you be okay with him using that to speed it up? I don't know.
No, because I don't think the results would end up being worth it.
But he's now keep in mind he's trained it from his 30-year catalog. So he's trained it from his own catalog. That would be different.
Yeah, but if the work from the beginning is not that great, so like I don't think AI would improve it that much. If it's just background stuff, it's not like main plot lines or something that's gonna be invented by AI. And you can make much from if nothing was that great to begin with to go to the top like Putin did, or
let's say it was Berserk, which has many years of it being, every panel is incredible. And he did feed this into that. You see, I have to play devil's advocate since everybody is against it, right? People will think I'm for it. But since everybody is against it, I'm giving scenarios where it mightn't be as clear, you know?
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't know.
The argument to that though is like you could make the argument that like something like Duraniki that like ended up looking just as good as Berserk and it wasn't drawn by Miura could just be done by somebody in real life too. Like, he trained all his assistants on that and like just as good as regular Berserk, if not at times I would say it looks a little better.
I have some doubts about that. I think he was more involved in that than you thought. And also, what do you think about the chapters that came out after he passed away? Because I don't think some of those chapters are up to the level that he would have been.
It's hard to say though, because those are mostly piloted by like the Holy Land guy though. And his art style is so far away from Miura's, I'm not really sure if he's drawing for it or not, or what he wants.
But he should be.
Because Holy Land looks.
What is his involvement?
Berserk.
His involvement is providing layouts, or is he also putting the final line?
I would assume he's probably doing some type of art too, because he's a very accomplished artist himself in his own right. It's just his art style is very far apart from something like Miura's.
Right, but I mean, like I would have thought that the assistants are able to totally do stuff equivalent to Berserk.
So I think Miura's original plan was they sort of take over the drawing the last couple of years and he does the story. But I don't know if that ever really came to fruition like he planned because of him passing. I don't know what the Holy Land guy is necessarily doing. He could be doing art. He could be touching up stuff. He could be choosing stuff or just, the tone of the story. I don't know.
Right.
Because that's such an unknown factor with him. Like just bringing in another author halfway through is always going to do some weird stuff to the stuff.
Right, but I mean, you can see there's a huge. I wouldn't say the new chapters look bad, but I think if Miura was there, even if he was doing some of the same things, he would have wanted an extra layer on it somehow. He would have wanted.
I think Miura had a tendency to go with darker colors or just more shading than I see it do Berserk. I do get what you're saying there.
And he was taking way longer with it because, he's a perfectionist.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, I mean, some of those chapters infamously took like months to make, which is crazy when you think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I do enjoy looking at a piece of media, whatever it is, and knowing the masochism that it takes to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
The obsession, this is not a weekend warrior here. This is a man obsessed. There's something to that.
In a lot of ways, he was kind of blessed too, though, that Berserk took off in such a way he did, because he was really able to perfect his craft in the second half. Because I think if he had sort of been like another unknown author, like not just like Nihei, but any unknown author, he probably wouldn't have been able to get. Because like a lot of Conviction stuff looks really, really good, like painting level, and it's like I don't think he would have been able to do that if he hadn't been given the time he was.
Yeah,
and I mean, whenever
you also have to relearn that basically.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever people talk about the genius of Berserk art, I always think about the dragon wrapped around that cover.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That is a good one.
I mean. You see, you just gesture at, people, what are you doing reading these comics? This is stuff, you show them that. This is something that is, people like talk about, people put this work alongside, the Epic of Gilgamesh and all these kinds of things. And some people think it's overblown, but I don't think so. I think this is a work that is on the level of these things. I mean, this is like a work for all time. Not to get too crazy with it. I didn't get the hype early on, like there was no way to know. Like I couldn't even imagine that somebody could not just draw this on this level, but write it on this level. How is he doing this? I mean, there was a cost there,
7
but
years of work. But by the way, Leo, next to the icon for a mic, there's 3 dots you can change your avatar with.
Oh yeah, I should do that. I don't know if I have any good like photos on my computer though. Unfortunately, let me see.
yeah, just use like the Windows, the default Windows background.
Yeah, sure.
XP. Use the XP field.
I'll do this
XP green.
weird face from Eureka 7. How about that?
Yeah, that was look at what I have. I don't know. We were just talking about
sure.
Cthulhu, and I use this guy.
Cthulhu. Good. But Leo, what stuff did you get?
What?
What manga stuff, magazines, whatever.
So lately, I haven't been buying a ton of Nihei stuff because I actually bought a bunch of Gundam stuff. Funny enough.
Yeah. I saw some posts on that.
I'm building a Gundam right now. Actually, it's on my desk. I'm trying to get the foot off because I just noticed something's wrong with it. But lately, I mean, after I got that sign thing, I've been kind of tapped out. Like, I don't know what to get after getting a signed book by him. I've been looking at some of his magazines, but trying to find the Knights of Sidonia covers is actually kind of a pain in the ass.
Too expensive, or like?
I think a lot of people, and particularly in Japan, have a lot of nostalgia associated with Sidonia. So they just charge outrageous prices for some of that stuff, like more than Blame stuff I paid for. And to me, that doesn't make any sense personally.
I mean, it's more popular, so
That's
would
what I mean.
say.
I think it's a lot more popular in Japan, and it has a lot more people. A lot of people were like teenagers when that aired. You know what I mean? So now they're closer to mid-20s, and they're not willing to part with that stuff easy. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even have a whole Sidonia set, but
no, I have one Sidonia magazine. No, I have 2. I have one, but the other one, it doesn't have a Sidonia cover. It just has the color pages inside. It's actually the Vinland Saga, the I Have No Enemies cover. Funny enough.
Yeah, I mean,
somehow that was cheaper than the Knights of Sidonia when I bought. That insane. Like I said, people don't want to part with that Sidonia stuff.
No, I mean, I'm trying to get the magazines behind the Gundam story from 2011. Those magazines were kind of eluding. You only saw one post with some guy like ripping them all out, but you can't read them because they're so low res. So slowly buying those and scanning them in. Get some background on that thing because even in 2012 there was still a page on that thing. It's like only 3 pages long, but I'm probably not gonna keep those magazines because it's like 200. It's like a telephone book for like 2 pages.
I didn't know it was that big. I assumed it was like a small, like one-shot type deal.
Oh no, those things are giant.
Okay, that's actually funny.
So yeah, and there's like 2 pages per thing, or even 1 page, which just need background info or sketches for that 3-page story. It's something that like nobody, only like the biggest collectors in Japan have them. Like you see on
I
Twitter.
Almost bought it a couple years ago, but I didn't, and then I haven't seen it since, or at least the signed version. I think there's like a regular version online you can find, but I think it was the 2016 Comic-Con. I can't remember. Maybe it was not the Comic-Con, the other one I can't remember we have here, but he did a bunch of signed art boards, and it's like a little, like almost like a plastic table thing, and it's got a picture of like Killy on it, and then he has like a signature next to it. And I think he did like 30 of those, something like that. Not many, like very few. And you can buy the art boards themselves online. They have a couple of them left, but you can't find like the signature ones. Are like impossible to find.
People just keep those on like our friend.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting looking. It's almost like a whiteboard. Almost, I don't know like what exactly it's for necessarily. I don't know. I haven't touched it, but it looks cool.
But yeah, on one map you can just Gundam Ace. Let me see.
Yeah, I can remember. I also think I have an advertisement somewhere in this room that also like advertised like extras you could get with his original release of the manga here, the Tokyo Pop edition. I'm not sure what extras they included, but there was extras.
The Tokyo Pop, like what volume?
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
volume 7, obviously, but that's the CD-ROM. Beyond that, I mean, I know there's a CD case. I know there's like an Abra fig, small fig. I know there is.
Are you talking about his old stuff
Sure.
or his newer stuff?
No, Blame back in the
Blame
day
stuff?
for
Okay,
Afternoon.
I was
Like
gonna say there's those
Hmm?
tiny little phone cards too. Like
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have one. Yeah. Those
dude,
are,
those things are annoying as crap to find. Looking all over online for them.
yeah, true. It's not the easiest thing.
No,
to
very
get
rare.
specifically.
And expensive, I guess, also.
Yes, actually, yes. Sometimes,
Kind
like I
of,
saw
yeah.
one going for like $60. It was just the card by itself, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Plus the cost of importing it into your country.
Well, a while back, I asked him. So Biomega came with like I think what was it? The second volume came with a special edition. I think it was when it was still printed with Kodansha. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but it came with a special edition. It has like this little cover, slip-on cover, and I almost bought it. And then when I did, I came back and checked it. It was completely gone. It's like I think Iron's seen it before. It's like that little like slip cover with the characters on front, the CEU. It's almost like a mesh material that goes over your books.
Oh, okay. Mesh material for Blame?
Yeah, no, for Biomega.
Oh, for Blame. Oh, wait. Yes, I know. It's like a second. You mean an alternate?
Yeah, it was like the alt cover or something like that. Or
Yeah,
they called it that, but it's not really an alt cover. But
and I have a stand of Biomega that came for a lottery from like 2005 or 4 or something like that.
Funny enough, I think I have the advertisement for that in the Biomega magazine I have. Like it has a little thing that says like, "Oh, you could win this" or something like that.
Yeah, I have that thing. It was like 35 years or something like that. So it was
that's pretty cool.
Pretty expensive. But yeah, here's the Gundam Ace magazine. It's like, like 1,
Really?
2, 3.
So tell me, these
4. It's like pretty expensive. Look, €3, fucking €4. 5.
So that's the one I need then for specifically that version, like the.
Yeah. This is
2011, 10. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, because I
before,
personally.
I just asking the phone cards you guys talking about. So these are like prepaid phone cards that people put credit on their phones.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it used to be like that. Instead of using.
Okay,
coins.
So this is hold on, but this is not for cell phones. This is to put into a payphone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all right. No, because there's another kind of card that we have here where you put money on a cell phone
version. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
for Deadheads, it's like I don't know why the fuck they would make one for that. I guess they thought
they made one for Deadheads. They did not. You're just fooling
They
me.
did.
They did. Is that illustration that I see in the back of the fucking Blame and So On? Or is that not
probably? Yeah. There's one illustration with the girl in the background.
I didn't know if it was the red one where she's like staring at like God, I can't remember. Like it's like she's staring off in the distance, and there's like a red pagoda or something next to her or something.
Yeah,
that one. Okay, wow. So that I've been looking for that for like 2 years. That makes more sense why I can't find it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite arts he did. Like during that period, it's just like it's only released in Blame and So On in that tiny little spot. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like the original was like a full-size page in the magazine, so I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have one. Well, we both have that's extra special version for the summer edition that came out monthly with afternoon. You have
Yeah.
one with an alternate cover for the first chapter.
Alternate cover too. That's awesome. Did not know
Well,
that.
alternate cover. I mean, alternate first page for that chapter. Like we have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I'm learning a lot about the little extra ones I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a God. What did he do? He did like an illustration card for. It was from some like extra other series in monthly afternoon, but it was from like 1990 or something like that, 1999. So I have only seen it like once.
1999. Was the first interview, 1999.
It might have been from that interview, actually. I don't know if he did art. He did art for his interviews a couple of times too that he never really released.
Yeah. Wait. Or was it like the one what he does art for somebody else series?
I thought he was for another series, but it could have been for an interview too. But I did think it was for another series, like something that was ending in monthly afternoon at the time. But there's been like a dozen series in monthly afternoon, so it's kind of hard to narrow it down.
Yeah. What was it again? I mean, I know what you mean, but that's the point. You have so many goddamn interviews, you don't even know what.
Have you ever seen the stickers that they did for where they bundled his like Biomega stickers with whatever Steel Ball Run?
Yeah. I have that. I have that sheet. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. They're just Steel Ball Run right next to Biomega characters.
Yeah,
Really
that's
funny.
weird. Yeah. I don't know. It's like obviously same magazine, so why not? Like,
Yeah, they're both the same thing. And I guess at one point Biomega was one of the most popular things in the magazine, which is just funny to say in hindsight. But
yeah,
they didn't really have a whole lot in that magazine right then, so that's probably why.
Yeah, you would say that like Ball Run would be the most popular thing because
no, definitely it probably is. It's probably still the most popular thing in that magazine to ever come out of it. Like,
yeah,
maybe the new JoJo's part. I guess it's probably just as popular.
Yeah. Oh, here. Wait. For 2000, you did a thing. Fuck. My fucking phone has a thing for Imker account, but my Steam Deck doesn't, so I just have to crisscross. Right, the fucking.
One thing I kind of thought was interesting is like when you look at noise, like noise comes out like directly in the middle of like the final section of Blame, and it's weird how like it's still very clearly Nihei, but it's almost more like gothic looking than traditional Blame did look at that time. Like Blame was sort of veering into more of the gray scale than it was the black, while noise is just like pitch black.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know, maybe you wanted a bit more different term because that was earlier into the city, so you just wanted a different vibe for it than the super advanced city that became later on.
No, I know, I get what you mean. It's just it's really interesting how he kind of is able to kind of blend the styles right then and there. Because he was releasing a lot at one point right then. Because I think he did Snink It right around then too. Maybe like a year later.
2004 that he no, it was 2003 that he started that, and
I think he finished it in 4 though. Yeah, I think you're right. Like the final one came out in 4 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just interesting when you look at his art right then, because like it's very clearly the same-ish, but it's also like each series kind of has its own flair.
Yeah. It's like a page that he did.
That's one of my favorites of like the little magazine ones he's done. Yeah, it's very compelling.
It's like his peak basically. I mean, the Tower Dungeon is still fun, but it's like stuff just gets really overused, like the rings or the goddamn, the new.
He's on a ring phase right now. You just gotta let him. I gotta let him get it out. Because I mean, in Sidonia, he was like really on the weird bridge phase. Remember?
Yeah.
He's just you gotta let him get out of his system a little bit.
Yeah, but like I guess with Sidonia, he just I don't know, he wanted to make it as easy as possible, as available as possible. So he just went into all the damn tropes just to get the kids on, basically. And now he calmed down a bit.
In a lot of ways, as much as people shit on Sidonia here, it really did work because people really
Yeah,
liked Sidonia
it
there.
became one of his popular series, so it did work. But
yeah, and it's funny too because Sidonia is like one of the few series that like Gundam fans will watch and they'll be like, "Oh, this is pretty good," and I'm like, "Really?" Because it's nothing like Gundam, like absolutely nothing like it.
Yeah, no, it's it's a bit more in his own style, and like obviously it's inspired by.
Yeah, definitely inspired by Gundam at times. You know, now that I've gotten more into it, I can kind of see the threads, but it's definitely, you know, I think in a lot of ways he's almost like inspired by like classical like monster stories or whatever. You know what I mean? Like almost like the depictions of like a traditional monsters more than like modern monsters. And Sidonia has a lot of stuff that you would see almost in like, I don't know, like an older James Verne novel or something like that. Not really something you see nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You know, I started it, but I never finished it. Maybe because it was so different than his other stuff. But I do think there were a lot of interesting ideas in it. You know, you know, the photosynthesizing people. You know, they're just changing genders depending on you know, there's always a lot of interesting I guess evolutions that they made to make space being a space faring colony easier to live with. Oh, and also the I thought it was interesting the way that they had to, what was it? Everybody had to keep in mind that there's this rail going all over the place in case you know, we have some high G things going on. And there was this part where like something did happen and like people were totally shredded all over the place. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
I've kind of always wondered like you know, what like really pushed him over the edge to change style, because you know he's kind of gone back and forth in his interviews between I don't have enough time or I didn't want to draw like that anymore to I just don't feel like it. So it's like I don't know, maybe he just got tired and bored one day, because you know that's always possible with somebody who's drawn like that.
He did say in one interview that he was just after 10 years of drawing black, he was just tired of that, because you know you had to fill in the whole page in black and then just draw your characters or whatnot, your structures. So like that took a lot of time. And then if you go to white, then it's like, you know, a bit more.
I do get that, but it's funny though, because now in Tower Dungeons he's immediately returned back to the black. So it's like
half and half basically. Like especially
like half the pages in Tower Dungeons are just covered in black. Like
I guess he just got interested in that again. But you know, it's like half and half. It's like outside it's completely white and inside then it's majority of black.
I do think it's a bit of a better balance than any of his other series have kind of struck. Like because other series were just like it's all black or it's just like all white. Like it's definitely his first series that kind of feels like a in between.
Yeah. I mean, I had a positive impression, like with the Half Dragon, the design completely black. Then in the last chapter, it was not anymore, but then was the background black. So you know, the contrast that obviously.
Yeah, I've noticed that like some of the stuff he draws, like he'll draw like black, and then like later chapter he'll make it white, and then like in the next chapter it'll be black again, and I'm like, okay. Maybe it's just like the contrast from the light he's trying to show it or something like that.
Yeah.
But I did notice that. So the Tower Dungeon itself, if you look at a lot of chapters, like they'll be walking in a certain area and it'll be black, and then the next chapter it'll be white, and then like if they go back, it'll be black. And I'm like, okay. Like the physical walls themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like with light that comes in, because the tower has windows, so I guess
that is true.
More.
I didn't even think about that personally. It could be that, like, it could be the days that he's simulating, like the days shifting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
because when I was a kid, I used to be like obsessed with this. You know, like wait, it was black in this panel, but now it's white here. What is happening? You know.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's just, and especially because it's him, I think he just does kind of what he wants, because there's like when we were doing the read-throughs with Biomega Mars, you remember, like we would just talk about look, this weird Birdman is on one page and he never appears again. I think he just wanted to draw that one day, you know?
You know, I've always been meaning to ask you about these rumors, but I talked to someone else who's, you know, really up on Blame stuff too, another artist, and he said that the rumors he always heard, at least when he was reading online when Biomega was coming out, is that Biomega was originally only supposed to be 3 volumes. And I don't know how true that is, but it kind of makes sense when you realize the Recreator is in the 3rd volume and it sort of kind of doesn't go anywhere the last 2 volumes. Like, I like the last 2 volumes a lot, but like nothing happens for like the first like 3 chapters after the Recreator. So I'm not necessarily sure if that's any truth or if it was just online rumors that people were spreading at the time type of deal.
I mean, like, I actually kind of believe it.
I think like, I mean, there was a point that you thought like, oh, maybe I will just end it here and then get on with another series, because you know that kind of happened with Deads. That was supposed to be like a whole series, but then that got cancelled, and I'm like, you still want to do something with zombies, so Biomecha got born. And with like Biomecha, I mean, I don't know. He also had to blame him. Like in Blame, he wanted to end like after 2 volumes. Didn't really want to sell. Didn't really see the thing going on, but he still kept going.
I think it's funny that he often calls Ibarra a story he draws, but then when he reads Ibarra, he's like, I have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. Thing is taking a backup,
like you can tell that's a story drawn off complete emotion. Like there's nothing but just him going, you know what? I'm upset today. I'm gonna draw this.
Yeah. He said that in his in the new edition of Abra like a couple of years ago. He just doesn't remember why he drew it or like what the plot exactly was or why Toei is not in it. No clue. And then you go back to older interviews and you get a bit more info, but not that I'm gonna remember everything.
Yeah, his older interviews about Bizarra, I was gonna say that, are just bizarre. Like they hardly make sense themselves. Like I've read like 1 or 2 of his interviews at the time, and they're mostly just like him advertising it, and that's it. He's just like, yeah, read it, please.
Yeah.
Go ask him questions about the story, and he's like, I don't know, maybe. You're like,
yeah,
okay.
he also does it in the art book for Blame. He also or he asks questions to us like, how is this and how is that, just to keep the mystery going. Just like trying to figure it out to yourself. And then with Sidonia, it's like, shit, and a lot of fans didn't like it, and we're like, this doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's interesting because it's like Ibarra's like you've seen that Back to the Future meme where it's like your parents aren't ready for it, but you aren't ready for it.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. It's like people weren't ready for it. Now, whenever I see people bring it up, they love it, and I it's funny because I love Nihei, but it's probably one of my least favorite works of his. Like I don't necessarily enjoy it that much. It's really cute, like the art, you know what I mean? But that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I like the little dude's face, like where he looks like he's gonna like eat you. That part's cool.
What in Abra or like?
Yeah, Barra, where like it's like I think the chapter is called Mausoleum, where it's like that shows that dude where his skin's coming off and it looks like he's gonna eat you. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean. You're sitting on the toilet. Yeah, it's the boss type. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
That is some great, like the art for it's insane. Like I will never deny that. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, and it's just not that great on plots and relation. He's not the best writer, basically. He's just
he's a big picture kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially relationships. He's just, I don't know. It's especially in Sidonia. It's like this girl for like 10
Nihei's
years.
problem is that he's more interested in concepts than he is in characters.
Yeah,
right.
He wants to display concepts to you. That's why a lot of his, I mean, like especially reading his Blame like what he did about Blame and like reading it and like him talking about like the circumference of the sun and like how much power and this and that, and like talking about how that would factor into Blame. And I was just like thinking about it. I'm like, see, that's what I mean. Like he thinks about like just stuff that no one would think about for his mangas versus like, oh, how does this character gonna develop? You know what I mean? Which I guess there's a love or hate aspect with that. You gotta, because I know some people will be like, oh, I want more character development, but I kind of enjoy that his series are just kind of what they are.
Yeah. You ever read or heard of Tree Body Problem?
No, is it good?
Yeah.
watched it.
is a Chinese novel, a Chinese science fiction novel, and like a lot of people complain about the characters being thin, but it's the same thing. Like, this guy is like you'll turn a page and 10,000 years will pass. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Like that. So I mean, when you have a story of that scale, could you really focus on the characters? This is not what they're reading this book for. You know?
No. I get what you're saying. I think that's what makes a lot of his stories so compelling to so many people is that his stories have a sense of scale that's just like basically unmatched in any other manga. Like they just feel larger. Like his stories just feel large.
Yeah, I mean, like just the idea of
full scale of it.
Wasn't there like a scene where Kelly is crossing a room and it was like 1,000 years to cross the room because it was so huge?
Yeah. When he was looking for Toa, it's like so many hours have passed. I'm like, oh god, it's like a few hundred
I
years.
can remember like they do that little cutaway and blame. I know what you're talking about the end, and it shows like it's like 10,000 hours have passed since this moment or something like that, and you're just like, that's so insane. Like,
look at how simply that is gotten across.
yeah,
There's two panels that could be from any other comic, but just that line, is interesting, and you could see the. I mean, like Blame is a big part of it. I think is about like runaway expansion, like the Great Goo, like something like that.
Way to point it, yeah.
So this never-ending expansion and putting a scale to that. This expansion is so much that they've consumed the planet to make it. This room used to be part of Mars or something. All this kind of crazy. Like I wonder, do you think the sun still exists in this world? Did they consume that too?
I've always kind of went back and forth on whether or not the sun exists, but I personally probably don't think it exists anymore. I think it was probably just incorporated into the reactors or something like Toa or something.
Right, and they've often talked about how they were pulled, right?
Yeah, because at the end when they get out of the Blame and like you see, I mean, I guess it depends on if you count if Blame 2 is canon or not to you. It depends on how you feel about it. But at the end of Blame 2, you get out and you see there really isn't much of the universe left. Like there's some universe because it's infinite. So I guess how are you supposed to fill up infinite? But
it's obviously. I mean, you see like with the fourth generation of Pencil, once you get out, you see the outside of the megastructure and you still see space. So,
Yeah, I just always wondered like how much space is left though, because if they have rooms that are the size of Jupiter, there probably isn't like. I think people have debated that it's like the entire size of the known universe, but to me that doesn't really make sense.
So like, can be, it's got to be a lot still left.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be a lot of space left, but not a lot of matter left.
That they can reach because it expands all the time. So trying to reach that takes so many times, and it's like
about how like they have like
fucking.
In the magazine, he talked about how they have like matter recyclers and all that stuff at Toa. So who knows necessarily? Like we're talking about in scales that are so insanely big, it's hard to quantify, really. Like because like if they're literally using like mass itself as like a reactor, it's kind of like hard to say what even is what.
Yeah. I mean,
that sort of stuff is interesting. I mean,
teleport out of the megastructure to go explore again, like with Sidonia. But the AI is just kind of mad and doesn't know where the outside is, so it just teleports you randomly into a random room and just destroys itself because.
Because I think I read that too. Like it said it was trying to teleport so far out of it, but it said it literally was looking and it just couldn't find a spot. Like, but they were also really far into the megastructure. At the end of the day. Yeah, at the end, Killy's closer to the end, so I guess it's hard to say like where exactly Toa was in the structure. You know what I mean? There's no way you can.
The small self-portrait of Nia in this page is like, that's probably what he felt when he.
That's pretty legendary, actually. I like that actually a lot.
Yeah, it should be an art book. I mean, he could easily make 2-3 art books more with the stuff he has made now, but no, of course not. We can have good things.
look, he needs to preserve the value, by printing like six. This is how it's done. So is he actually like now he has fans that are obsessed with him, but does he actually have like a lot of fans overall in Japan? Is he like a huge?
Okay, clearly, probably his last 3 series are probably his most popular, outside of Aposmas, I would say. But like,
I actually like that. I actually thought Aposmas had some interesting stuff too. Like he always has like some cool ideas.
I see a lot of Sidonia fans, and then now I'm seeing a lot of Tower Dungeon fans, but a lot of Tower Dungeon fans have zero clue that he was even a manga artist before this. So
weird, maybe because people who are attracted to Tower Dungeon are also people who like fantasy stuff, like GDR stuff in general.
No, yeah, you're right about that. Like a lot of people I know, they didn't know who Nihei was. Like they didn't know who he was, and they started reading it. It's because of that, literally GDR and stuff like that. Like
yeah, GDR. Like I have a friend who does GDR every week basically, and it was recommended Tower Dungeon to him, and he started reading it. But I mean, he knew who Nihei was, but he wasn't like addicted to other works of his, like Blam or any other.
Interesting. So he was kind of just like dropped in off the ball. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people saying Dungeon Meshi was another big inspiration for them to try it out.
Yeah, definitely.
That they had never knew who Nihei was. They didn't even they had heard of Blame, but they had never checked it out. And that because it does look very different from Blame. So a lot of people when they check it out, they're like, wait, he did that? Like I knew people who read Blame, read Tower Dungeon, had no clue they were the same author.
Well, I mean that probably says something about his varying style. It's not like some people. Everything looks the same. He's willing to kind of.
A lot of people were really impressed with that when I spilled the beans for him. They were like, "Wow, like his art style is so varied." Like, and it's like, yeah, he can do a lot. Like,
and the excuse that the block takes a lot to fill in, as to why it takes long. That doesn't make sense in a digital age, right? Because you could just invert the color and start drawing in white, right? Or invert it after.
Thinking about that lately, I think he genuinely inverts some of his new art. Like, I think he draws it in black, like white originally, and then just inverts it later. Because sometimes it looks like that. Because sometimes I'd be wondering, like, does he just draw in just black? But that would probably get tiring at his age. So I think he's probably been inverting a lot of his stuff.
Right, but it's like I say, it doesn't make and drawing with white lines on a black page is easier on the eyes too, because there's a lot less light jamming it up,
Yeah, no.
So he could be doing it that way, He could be doing it that way, and I mean, that is a major benefit of going digital. Although I do like his early manual analog work too.
Well, I was gonna say, I think one of the reasons I had trouble reading Aposmas the first time and why I like the colored version so much better. It's hard as shit to sit there and read those white pages all day. Like they don't look very good on a white page, on a white background, on a white screen.
Well, it gets also low detail, just draws a little.
Yeah, it hides a ton of the detail too. Like I didn't know how detailed it was till I saw the colored versions for a lot of those pictures. I was like, okay,
no,
like this was here the entire time.
Was a lot of the could you bring up some of those pages? Let's check it out because I want to know how much of those details were there but hidden. But
I have some other versions. I don't. Do you have them downloaded, Iron? Like I have no clue if you have them downloaded.
I mean,
I have the first 3 volumes, but I don't know if I have them ready right now. But I do have the first 3 volumes.
Let me see.
Because sometimes the colorist could add the details in the coloring. You know what I mean?
For him, I do think he added details like occasionally in the color, but for the most part, a lot of those details he just went over with
archive. Your archive has pages.
Let me see if I can just like send you the link for it on Twitter. I think I have some of them posted, and you could check them out real quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That
that's
way,
really
It is
I
interesting.
think I posted my favorite.
I mean, I just have your archive thing, so we can just check out that.
So I do think I have them archived. I just fucking I don't know where. Like I don't. Sorry.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, here. So this is some of them. I'll send you. These are some of my favorites. I'll send you. It's just like a little, some cover pages. We can at least like see what we're talking about here. Yeah, that's the first chapter. I really like the color pages personally.
Yeah, and then you have the extra booklets that I scanned.
Those extra booklets are amazing, and I'm never gonna let anyone shit on the art from those. Those things are beautiful.
I mean, yeah, those are pretty nice. I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to the artwork, obviously, but you know.
Nah, man,
It's a
that
whole
blue
different
page,
style.
the city, that's an all timer right there from Nihei. It's probably one of his best works.
He should have put that in Aposmus, and probably
No, yeah,
should have got
he
more.
messed up. Like if that was an Aposmus, people would talk about Aposmus more just because that was an Aposmus.
Yeah,
Like,
or he should have done the color version in the first place, but you know he's got on a time schedule, so
yeah, I know. I do feel bad about him. He's always caught in those fucking crunches, dude.
so he can't cancel.
Yeah, I
it.
did send you
How-
I sent you a Discord if you
had-
want to see like higher res versions of it, like or whatever. But or sent you like the Twitter page thingy.
Has he ever explicitly said that Mobius was an influence?
Oh yeah, obviously, I mean,
okay.
he was a big fan of Mobius.
Yeah, no, he
Okay.
it's funny that you said that. He is directly stated. Like if you go on his wiki, I think it even says it twice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, no, he's
No,
like
no,
a
you see,
huge Mobius
this-
fan. Like I think Aposmus was sort of his chance or just try to
He
be
even
Mobius.
met him
like,
when he was in.
Right.
I mean,
I was
he
gonna
even
say that.
met him when he was in France. He wouldn't even shake his hand because he didn't like people. He said in a short interview.
That's funny.
Wait, Nihei doesn't like people?
Well, in the beginning he didn't, but he talks about Mobius not wanting to shake hands because Mobius doesn't like people. And he
Okay,
could
all
relate
right.
to that, but because he didn't like
This-
people.
That's weird. That's and because I met one person who met Mobius and he was actually kind of warm, but that might have been,
It was probably
It might
later.
have
You
been-
know, Mobius sees an up and coming artist from a different country. He's probably not like, like, oh yeah, we're best pals. He's probably artists
okay.
tend to get a bit competitive, especially someone who probably maybe wasn't as like young as he once was, like with Mobius, who's already probably like I think like 40 by then, 50 maybe. So
But I mean, you think I find it hard to imagine somebody with that level of accomplishment behind them
yeah,
could
you would
feel
think,
that
yeah.
way.
You think they'd be a lot, kinder.
Right now. So that is the difference. This was it was a guy that was probably 17, that was showing him this stuff. The guy that I knew. So he probably didn't feel any threat, maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
I mean, look.
not
Yeah.
related to this, but it kind of reminds me, like Tomino and Ano did not get along very first time they met. The creator of Gundam and Evangelion, like they did like later on, but like I think he didn't really like him when they first met, and I think it might have been one of those things. Maybe they were creatives and they kind of clashed a little bit. So
Okay. So and you know what? Being the Gundam guy, he's probably like, you trying to dunk on my thing because you think we selling out and making too much merch and you making like an anti-Gundam.
it was
You're
more
making
like,
like some.
it was more like Tomino felt like he had kind of already said all that before and felt like they were giving him praise that was sort of due to him. And I don't think he liked that Eva was the new kid on the block and people were praising it. You know what I mean?
Right. It's interesting. Like he almost used Eva as a way to
kind of like sort of an outlet for his frustrations as a creative. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of creatives do that where they sort of like pick on a show and it's more because like it kind of gets to them as a creative. Like I could have done that, or I should have made this, or I've made something similar. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think it kind of
There's
gets
that,
under
but
their skin.
But I also think of it as like, I'm going to make a robot show because people love these things, but I'm going to make it I'm gonna use it to say other weird things. You know,
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yeah. I get where you're
because
saying.
I mean, like without a big robot to sell it, we never would have get this thing made, right? You
You
know,
know,
it's like
it,
look,
it's funny because I was reading a lot about like the early just industry in general, and it sort of was like that. Like a lot of the early industry guys, they didn't want to do manga, they didn't want to do anime, and they didn't really care to do them. They were just doing them because they couldn't do television or proper books or whatever they wanted to do. So they ended up putting all their creative outlets in that. And so I think a lot of those older generation kind of almost have a chip on their shoulder a little bit, maybe like not all of them, but a lot of them do
right?
because to them creatively like this isn't what they wanted to do, but they still pushed the boundaries. At least they they did they push boundaries in different ways. So like to them, like when they see new safety or just like where anime is now, that's why I think a lot of them are very just angry or grumpy at like new type of series, which makes sense. They came into a completely different industry.
It's interesting you mentioned that because I was reading like, well, obviously there's the new Ghost in the Shell, and I'm thinking that how it might have been the same thing with who was that director again? Not is it Kawhi? No, um the
Are you talking
director of
about
the
the original
right,
director?
Oshii,
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
right. So he kind of used uh the framework of the original manga to say other things. You know what I mean? Like because it's so
No, yeah.
different, but
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
and like is is and also it's funny because now that is the version that most people know, and they're surprised by this new version, which is really the original
It's funny because
tone.
Oshi's kind of gotten in some hot water for doing that before because I think he was one of like the really like the first like people to take like another person's work and kind of put his own message in it, at least for anime. Because I remember Beautiful Dreamer, which is he made. It's by I think it's that anime. It's called like Urusei Uratsu. I can never pronounce the name, but he got a lot of heat from that from the original creator too, because like when that movie was coming out, it wasn't really common to like take someone else's story and put your own message into it. And I know she doesn't personally like that movie, even though a lot of people think it's actually one of the best anime movies of all time, because it's kind of funny, like how it kind of goes. Like you can't really please the author if you want to please yourself too. Sometimes it seems like. And I think that's kind of where the gap between like creating and like not creating comes from. Like, I think, a lot of people want to be artors themselves, like, and create their own stuff. And so like they kind of feel that competition or that pressure from someone else who comes in and creates something completely from scratch, like nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. So they're compelled to put their mark on it.
that's what I mean. I feel like, it's not like, say Evangelion is so much better than Gundams. It's an anime at the end of the day. They're both animes. It's more that he felt that he almost felt like he had been upstarted. You know what I mean? And I think that's I think a lot of people did that to Nihei too in the industry, because like when you read about him, a lot of people kind of didn't like his work. Like even other authors didn't really like his work.
It took a while to warm up to him because it was just so out there because they didn't understand the story.
Yeah,
But nothing was explained like everything else that came before it. So
like I know a lot of people even in like his own magazine didn't like his own work, which is just kind of crazy. I think one of the few people that were like really nice to him was like the Blade of the Immortal author, and then like a couple of other ones. But I know a lot of people just they didn't like his style of what he did, and I think they might have felt like creatively challenged by him. Like
yeah.
I
I mean,
think
there's
also
in interviews that even after 10 years, he hasn't seen anything like Blame, which surprised him. Like anybody would just make something, but still nobody did, except with Girls Last Tour and like all the other.
I always think it's insane though, is that Blame was such ahead of its time that it took like 20 years to get like anything even close to what it was like. It's kind of insane when you think about it. Like,
yeah, I mean, like Joe Van for instance, like the German one, or Ian Matt tries that's in the same vein, and then you have.
No, yeah, those are good stories too. Yeah.
I think that a lot of these people don't like him in a way because he's doing something that nobody ever told him he was allowed to do. One like I think of this as kind of like Spawn, like or even Liefeld. Like a lot of people don't like him, but he did something kind of strange that made an impact. I mean, people still talking about him. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no. I think it's sort of that thing. Like, I think he sort of like broke what you could do for art styles right then. Because like, if you look at a lot of mangas that came at same time, like outside of maybe Blade of the Immortal, like in the magazine with him, outside of Blade of the Immortal and maybe like one or two series, most of them kind of had the same-ish art style. But when you like turn to Blame, and like it must have been mind blowing in 1997, opening up in that page and like it's stuck in between like a generic looking shonen and another like seinen series in between. Like there's just the craziest looking series of all time.
Right, and imagine you're a guy that's taking 20 hours on a panel for striving for absolute accuracy and continuity between panels and everything.
See,
and you see this guy, and it looks like they're dashed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I think his colored art looks so much better here than his original, like the original line work for Aposmas. Like you can actually see the line work in the background.
But I like the black and white one too. Well, the gray.
I do, but some of this rust color he chose is just, it looks immaculate. Like it really does look like rusting pipes. And like, I don't know how, I wish I had the green one, the one where it's like the glow sticks and they look like it's just like green light everywhere. That one's an all timer from him. Probably one of the best chapter covers I've seen colored from him. It's just insane. But I don't have any pictures of it right now, I don't think, but it's a good one.
Well, I never even knew there was a totally colored version of it.
Yeah, so it just finished last year. I bought it all, and I do have like a version, but like I don't know how to copy it. And some other guy was copying it for me. I don't think he ever finished it though. So
yeah, there's like and the last couple of volumes have never been.
Yeah, I think there's only been there's only like 5 volumes available right now, or something like that, or 4 or something. In the last like 4.
I guess it didn't really sell that well anymore to be printed, and just did digitally.
So
just to get
all 8 are out in Japan. They're just digital. Only 5 got physical, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
That no,
so
for some reason
the original manga came out.
Yeah. So that guy I tagged, funny enough, below that Gray Fire Phantom right there, he's the one that's doing the English release. He released like a volume like probably about 6 months ago. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was doing the English release for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I have to say is, while the colored version is much prettier, the volume covers are just not it. I don't think they were done by Nihei. Like, if anything, that was one of the positive best aspects, was the volume covers. The ones for fucking the colored edition are just not it. They're ugly.
I mean, yeah, there's just collections of like different pages, and that's about it. It's a bit lazy. Yeah,
it's lazy. And like I said, I don't think they were done by Nihei. I think they were done by one of his editors, and it's just kind of lazy.
Well, why the hell would they do that? I mean, like, think about this, right? The person who's going to double dip on this is going to be a huge fan.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you give the people what they want? And it's not a time issue because it's already out. This is for double dippers,
No, I get what you're saying. I honestly, they kind of do this with Nihei stuff a lot, and it kind of frustrates me. They seem to tend to like change his stuff on re-releases or like new releases or stuff. And I know sometimes it is Nihei dependent. Yeah, I saw that. I like that.
It doesn't even look like
bear mouse. I know people were like mad, but I actually kind of like it. I like the bear mouse.
I mean, it's fucking cool. Like, it's not a bear anymore. It's like,
it's not a bear. It's definitely not a bear. It's definitely not a bear anymore. But maybe it's a bear mouse now.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that shit?
Never makes sense.
At first I was like so sure he was doing these for something, but I do think you're right. I think he's just doing them for fun now at this point.
Yeah, no, they just like to post
watch, and then like a month from now, it's gonna be like Niehei's doing some super thing where he's giving away 30 different pictures of his art,
all signed.
All signed, and I'm like, okay, maybe he was doing something. But no, at first I was almost positive, because he almost never does the signature unless he gives it away. Like he almost
for
never does it.
lotteries or like I don't know, special events or
Yeah, special events, or if he's giving it to another author, he does that too when he's giving it to another author.
yeah. I mean, recently he did an event for the 40th anniversary. He also went to the thing itself.
He also did one for the Tank Chair author, and then who was the other author he did one for? It was
Yeah.
it was like this, I think like a more like a slice of life type author, but he did one for them too.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
I knew he did the Tank Chair one, which you obviously know. It was really popular.
Yeah, I know that one.
But he
Obviously,
did do another author's probably like 3 months after that. I don't remember whose though. This time it wasn't Tank Chair though. I think this time it was Ibarra. It was either Ibarra or Blame. I can't remember necessarily.
Maybe. Well, we can look on this.
Yeah, because the Tank Chair guy, he wanted Biomega. That's what he got.
Oh. It's copyright bullshit. Thanks, but no thanks. Let me see. Now, new chapter. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yes. Ah, yeah, he went to Zone Exit. There's probably no interview for that because it's so small and it's been a long time since 2019 and he ever did any goddamn.
What I love about him, what I love and hate about him is that he doesn't talk too much, but geez, he needs to talk a little bit more now that he's not, not like as unknown. Like your shit's popping off, dude. Like at least say something.
Yeah.
What if it ends up saying,
something small text?
Wait, is there another?
Listen, you need to shut your mouth.
Yeah, there's a new
because
one.
you need to maintain the mystique.
No, I thought like so the star afterwards. I thought that meant he was getting another cover. I mean, he could be. I think that might be. I guarantee you that's implying he's getting another cover after this.
It's like the most cover he's ever had for a series.
No, it is. It passed with this cover. It's officially the most covers he's had for a series. It passed Knights of Sidonia.
But I don't find him that special, honestly. Like
so I like the third one, and I like
this one's cute.
The third and fourth I like. So I like the first four. I would say the last three have been kind of disappointing.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if you compare it to Blame or Biomech or Abra.
I really like
that's more special.
I really like the third one because the third one comes with a big poster of that, and it's or the fourth one. I mean, the fourth one comes with a big poster cut out of that, and it looks really nice on the wall. I will say that. Like that one, it comes with a higher detailed version. It looks really good.
Yeah, I only have the first one because
I kind of I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I kind of like how they're all holding like the little like tower dungeon play things in the what's it called? Is that the fifth one or sixth one? The sixth one.
Yeah. Oh, here the shield. You mean? Yeah.
No. Next to it.
What is
that one? You see, if you look, she's holding a little play that says Tower Dungeon Script.
Oh yeah. I don't know what.
I kind of think that's cute, like where it's almost like, oh, they're implying they're in a play. I think that one's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm like, if the series is almost ending, like, what is he gonna do with Toa now? It's like, it was all this time a sci-fi plot, like with Bastard, for instance.
Remember I told you.
And become magic.
I mean, it's kind of is sci-fi already since the mecha showed up like 5 chapters ago.
I mean, yeah, but it was not particularly maniacal, but like, obviously you know where it's from, obviously, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know how it's gonna unfold. Probably something like, oh yeah, Toa was here someday, some time ago, put all there, disappeared, and then their own society came in. And on
would you be upset if this turned out to be a sequel to one of his other series? Like if this turned out to be like a sequel to Blame, or just like takes place in like something like that.
It's like fucking magic. I mean, it would be kind of interesting. It would be, but like how long in the future that would be. Like I don't know how he would tie that into.
I could see him like doing something where just like this takes place in like what's left of the mega structure after so long or something like that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, with Kaina, you had builders and all that kind of stuff. That kind of fitted in with that, but that was a bit more on the nose. But
I think he's gonna do something that has something to do with Toa, but I don't know if he's gonna do like a proper connection. I think he's gonna do something more sly.
Yeah. Just a side thing from, oh, here's this kind of info, but I'm not gonna explain because
Yeah, and
yeah,
we're gonna like get a like random chapter that doesn't have any dialogue, and it's gonna show them like finding Killy's like GBE and like not saying anything about it.
mm,
What
yeah.
about
It's like, last
what if it's
oh,
a
thank you.
what if it was a game? I was wondering that. Would that
I
be
did.
too stupid?
I've talked about that with people before. I've thought about it. Maybe it might possibly be a game because it really does. It does have like a lot of game elements to it, which is pretty interesting because a lot of his other series, I mean, they do take from games, but this is like the first time like they have like numbers on the walls and they have like healing items and stuff like that. So it does feel very game-esque.
Yeah. But by the way, like these two characters, with the mech, with like what
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
on their shirts, that really reminds me of a Bosmist. That's like a symbol that
No,
you
I,
use.
I genuinely think he thought it'd be cool to put the symbol from a Posmus on the back of her arms. It's like it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny because I showed that picture of like Kelly with his arm and it has like the little cross on it, and people were like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?" They're like, "Is this a Posmus?" I'm like, "No, it's just he was
The other way
prototyping like
around.
15 years before." Yeah, like
It's like so long, there's so much time between them. Like, yeah, no.
no, that's why I tell people too. I'm like, no, like it's like 15 years between those.
Doesn't work, yeah. And I wonder if like the little sister's going with the cat, because that's like they're gonna be the worst. I don't know, mix up with relationships. But Nia's never been good with relationships, especially with Sidonia. But I'm like, why
It's
these
funny
two?
because a lot of people don't like the way Sidonia relationship ends. I think it kind of ends at a good note. Like
Sure, it ends on a good note, but I'm like the whole goddamn roundabout to get to the fucking relationships is just
but it
so.
makes sense in the long run because, like, I mean, he can't just outright say he wants the 50 tall monster girl. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not possible. She's fucking like he's like her fucking tentacle is like 3 times the size of him, dude.
I mean,
That's why they have to
he
build
would
up to it.
enjoy it though. I mean, there was one chapter when they first met, them inspecting him and his companion. But I'm like, it makes for the relationships just made more sense if he went with Izuna. Yeah, it was Izuna. Yeah, if he went with Izuna because he knew her for way longer because his girlfriend got killed into the battle. Then 10 years later, he's still with Izuna, and then the monster shows up. And then we have like, the Ghana offspring copy of like his girlfriend, and we go with that, then with the tentacle monster, then I'm like, you're like with somebody for way longer, for like 10 years, and then you go with like a girl for like a couple of years.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a mech tradition to like leave
Yeah,
the
I
girl you've known
guess.
forever for the girl you've barely known.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's
I'm
just
not
a
joking.
roundabout
That really
way
is like a
for
mech
it.
tradition. That's like the one thing Nihei really did take from Gundam. Like,
Yeah, no, I haven't read really that much I had all Gundam, so I don't know. It's just,
yeah, that's like super common trope, but like I do get why people would be
Yeah, but
annoyed with it.
you see, and this is part of why I don't really like it. It's like, look, I don't want to hear about these people. I want to hear about this weird shit that happened. And these monsters and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't
what
delve
is
that much
happening?
into lore and Sidonia. It's like it's been told, but it's not too much has been given away, sadly. But
Yeah,
you can
I
go
think
back.
that's what keeps Sidonia's setting so compelling, though. After time has passed, it's that we know so little about it compared to even something like Blame. We just know that the Ghana showed up at some point, and they don't like humans.
Yeah, they destroyed Earth. So
And I do like that because, like I said, I don't like Blame's big, techno babble. I do, but I think what's refreshing about Sidonia, it's like it's just him like be like, oh, this is kind of spooky, isn't it? And then just never explaining anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also a tradition for him. It's like also in Abra that there's like some king in a grave, and it's like, oh, that's it. Yeah, there's he just fills it up with whatever pops up in his head. It's like he just wants to draw the things. He doesn't want to fucking explain the whole damn thing. Like, I don't know.
I think that kind of works with the Bara's plot. Like, probably maybe not as much as other series, but I think it works with Abara and Knights of Sidonia's plot, because you don't really need to know what the Ghana are to really enjoy the series.
No. I mean, they also show up in Abra, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
I remember I did that whole thing where I thought, I don't think they're connected anymore, but I thought they might have been for a while there. Like Abara was like the original.
This
Sidonia
point
was
in
the
time,
sequel,
like,
and then
I
Cosmos was
think
the
with
future.
Biomecha and Sidonia, like how the Earth got destroyed is like completely different, so that can't be the same.
That's what
And I'm like,
that's what I was gonna say, because I saw some people say connect them together, and I'm like, it's just not possible. Like Biomega and Sidonia are just, they couldn't take place in the same time.
except
It's just
if
not
they do an
possible.
interstellar and to go to a black hole and have another universe and that kind of stuff, then maybe with like a seed chip or something like that. Because like with Kaina, it was obvious that the seed chip reached the planets, became it, and maybe in got a Possumus that was once a seed chip. The core got the core of it became literally the souls of these people. Then they came to the surface, etc. Became a planet, and then you have a whole spiel going on. But
I'm gonna have to cut you off. It's just bizarre seeing Nihei stuff in 2D animation for once.
true. It's always been.
I do think this is the
Polygon.
first series that, like, if they actually wanted to do 2D, they could do it 2D and probably do it pretty good justice. Because I know people
Yeah.
always want blame 2D, but like outside of like, looking like Padma inverted, I don't really think they could do it, and I don't think people would be very happy with that.
No. If you would
Because
do
Padma inverted is probably the closest I've seen to like a true like mega structure look in like a modern anime.
yeah, I mean, I guess, with like Gundam stuff or other animes, like Girls Last Tour or
That
like,
too, yeah. I always forget. I always forget that's an anime. Like that's probably my
yeah.
fault.
And it gets a prequel to the world in like one volume that they talk about the stories for Girls Last Tour, like how the city came to be and how all this stuff came to be.
Have you have you ever read Shimeji Simulation by the same author?
No.
Oh, you're missing out.
Started it. I need to continue it.
It's honestly, I think it's better. I think it's a lot better actually than Girls Last Tour. I really like Girls Last Tour. The setting's amazing, but I think Shimeji kind of has a much higher emotional peak.
Damn. That's now, like I'm trying to think of how. I mean, you see how abstract it is. You know what I mean? So like, it's not that easy to imagine that happening. You know what I mean?
Yep. Speak of the devil, how are we feeling about the Girls Last Tour prequel?
I was
What?
just talking about that. It's
Yeah,
like
it's coming out pretty soon.
yeah. They're doing like weekly or something like that for chapters. I don't know when it's gonna released in
Really?
English.
Weekly?
Yeah, it does something like that. Like
Really?
maybe monthly. I don't remember.
I was gonna say I think Tikamizu's always been monthly, but maybe they are going switching to weekly. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I mean, what have you? What do you think of it?
So I'm kind of mixed opinions. Like, I think Shimeji was so good, I would have rather of them went and done something like completely unique again, because they're literally that creative enough too. But at the same time, like, if they're as creative as I think they are, then it's probably not going to be as much of a prequel as we think it is. Like, yeah, sure, it's going to be a prequel, but it'll probably be its own self-contained story too then. So I don't know. I'm mixed. I have to see where this goes. If it's going to be like a direct prequel, I'm probably not going to be super high on it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's part of why you're worried that it will remove some of the mystique of the world.
I think that's my issue too. Yeah.
Because I mean, it was so cool, to come into this world that has existed for. I mean, it could be any length of time after our world right now. It could be 10,000 years in the future.
Yeah, you're right. I think my thing though is just that, like, it really felt like they were pushing boundaries at the end of some edgy. Like there's an entire page that like takes place that has no art whatsoever, and it's probably one of the best pages they've ever made. So I felt like I don't know. I have to see. I guess I shouldn't say they're not going to push boundaries like they did before, but I felt like they were kind of like carving out their own path in a way that like few artists do. And I don't know. I don't want to see them just go back to GGLT because it's what's popular right now.
When it says they, is it a group of people?
No, Tikam is just kind of like Nihei, where it's kind of like a solo author thingy.
Okay, all right, interesting. But yeah, and this I think is like these are good examples of manga that they look simple, but I mean they help this guy get this thing across. I mean you could see. I mean I always say this: it's amazing how much you could get across with so little. You know what I mean?
This is pretty cool. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think in a lot of ways, what makes Girls Last Tour and Shimeji Simulation so great is that her art is like it looks simple, but it's like so detailed and inspired that like when you actually start breaking down pictures, you like notice how much details and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it gives that chibi look almost, or like a cutesy, like like almost
what
like
if Blame was cute?
Yeah, but then you look at it and you're like, wow, this is actually like a detailed, well thought out, well drawn manga. You're just like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, it's true.
One interesting thing, I think in some ways the simplicity gives them it makes the world more mysterious. Sometimes we don't know what this is we're looking at. In a good way.
Yeah. I haven't heard of this series. This one, whatever it is, looks cool though.
Yeah, this is sick. Look up this. The author wrote something. This author wrote something before. It's called The Vertical World. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, that has a lot of huge ideas in it. It's insane. And it does that same thing where there's like a cute look to it, so you'll never even imagine.
I mean, this guy also does a lot of big mega structure. The whole apartment is a big mega structure, basically. But like every chapter, you never know what's gonna happen. It's like every time it's something weird, or like you just don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be going into time travel, from 2D to 3D, from fucking I don't know. It's like a lot of shit that's just is weird as shit, but like it's just so enthralling to read. So it's really fun. And yeah,
I mean,
I don't know about that.
I think this is one of the best. Just because of that, here's like there's something it reminds me of. I can't remember what it was. It's almost like Made in Abyss, where any part of the abyss could have almost anything. And there's rules that get slowly kind of revealed.
Is it Protocol World or something?
Yeah, but I don't. I think that is a fan drawing. The actual manga is much simpler. That was the one you looked at before, but it's crazy.
Look the same now.
This is but I mean the Vertical World will.
Have you guys ever heard of a Yokohama Station SF? I would
say
it's pretty close to something Nihei would write. Maybe not as like
was the premise
unfriendly and cold, but it's pretty close. Basically, there's like a never-ending expanding substation that's like covering the earth. And as it goes on, his goal is basically to get to the end of it and shut it down.
Was it made after Blame?
Yeah, it was made
before?
way after Blame, like way after.
Okay.
But it's
I
pretty
mean,
good. It does its own thing, you know. I would say its
no,
art
no,
style is
yeah,
closer
yeah.
to Sidonia too, if anything, than Blames.
I mean, look, you know, like similar to YKK. I think it needs. It, I mean, YKK, in my opinion, it was so groundbreaking that it's like this idea of a different kind of apocalypse is so interesting. You could go into so many infinite directions with it. You know what I mean? The Carmen apocalypse. The yeah, like Girls Glass Store. Like there's no way Girls Glass Store would have gotten made if it wasn't for YKK, right?
Yep. You know, I don't know if people ever talked about it, but Akira definitely had a lot of influence on Blame.
Yeah, obviously they make.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, like whenever I look at the making of, there would be people saying stuff like, yeah, you know, this building, if it's accurately made and it's as tall as we draw it, it's hundreds of stories tall, but it looks cool, you know. So that is the most important thing, as it should be.
Room
And it was
999. I
coming
forgot
out
about
in
that.
cinemas in like September. But then I'm going to Japan, so I'm gonna miss that. So where is it then? Oh yeah, you also have Room 999. There's also a mech structure manga, but then with like a guy that's goes around giving people their letters. A mailman basically. But these people are like, I don't know, morphed into some other creatures. Like every guy's like, it's like a really systematic
Uh,
world, but everybody has to go on with their works basically.
Not related to this. Have you ever seen the model kits for Sidonia?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about buying any? I'm gonna get some soon, and I'll like review them and see if
Not
they're any good.
really, because like you have to paint them, get them together. So I'm like,
I don't think you have to paint all of them. I did see some of them you had to paint, but most of them are just like they come like you need to pre-cut them and then snap together.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know about.
I'll let you know
also know
because I saw some of the kits, more expensive kits, you do have to paint. Like you have to paint the metal parts and stuff like that. But some of the cheaper kits, they just like snap on. So.
Okay. Also know about the garage kits for Blame models. Right?
Yeah. You know about the garage kits? That's hilarious. Those things are actually kind of hard to find though. Like new ones at least.
True. Like,
Any garage kit
so wait,
is difficult to find.
Yeah, any garage kit is.
what are these exactly? These garage kits? They're like fan made kits, or what are they?
Fan made basically for Beefy, for instance, Pencil, P-Cell, Silicon Live, that kind of stuff has just been made throughout the years, like in the mid 2000s, basically.
Yeah,
somewhere in the 2000s.
For a while there was a lot of the one killies being made, like a bunch of the what's it called? It's not the 100 gex, it's the other one. It's where they have like a bunch of those now. You can find them online. It's like a really cool looking killie.
So this is so these are like doujinshi for statues.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. So Japan really looks the other way on this kind of stuff. They're okay with it.
So I've never understood that. Like I said, country that's super persistent copyright is okay with like breaking copyright for stuff like this pretty frequently. Like
right, but
to them, I guess it's not breaking copyright because you're not actually profiting off of it, or I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Wait, but you guys said that they were hard to find. I got the idea that people were selling them.
I think they
people
do.
were
like,
selling them.
I don't think they make money off of it. Like, I mean, you might make some money, but
it's just
recuperate the
for, like,
cost,
small
maybe.
phones, for online stores, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because
so
who builds those kits now, like just builds kits from scratch, like, and it's not like it's cheap. It's like $200 sometimes to build that stuff. So
yeah,
right. Not to mention your time. I mean, you're putting in 1,000 hours.
Yeah. I think some of those kits have literally taken them like 15, 16 hours, stuff like that. That's just like half of the kit. Like it's like not even painting it, like it's doing the actual kit.
Right. So these guys they're repurposing existing models sometimes.
They do that a lot, too.
Okay, but sometimes they're making it from.
So it depends. Some of them make it from scratch, but if it's like, let's say it was like I've seen people make Sidonia kits from like certain like old school like whatever gunpla. Like certain kits can just be chopped up and like they can like I don't know how they do it. They put it like the plastic in some type of
Here
like
for
liquid
Sonic.
thingy that like softens it, and they can almost like mold it afterwards. It's pretty cool.
Ah,
that's for smaller kits. Now for bigger ones, I think they do them out of clay still. But yeah,
right. I'm looking at a guy. I was looking at a guy on YouTube. I think he was like sculpting Evangelion character Ray or something, and it's insane. I mean, and it's sped up. It's sped up like 10 times, and it's still like, you know, half hour, 45 minutes, and then that is not with his cutting in between. You know?
Yeah, no. Like I'm just building a regular kit you buy from the Gunpla people, and I mean, we worked on it for 6 hours last night, and I just have the legs built. No, that is a bad description because it's like the highest end kit you can get, so it does have more pieces. But like if you were just buying like a basic kit, it would still take you a couple of hours, like at least 2 to build it. Unless you're just like really good at building stuff, then maybe about an hour, maybe less than that. But and then after that, you can decide if you want to paint it, this and that. But for like all those garage kits, since they're building from scratch, they're doing that all from the get go. Like they have to paint it, they have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
I use Prometheus.
Yeah, paint it, panel line it, anything that they need to do, add depth. They might a lot of times they usually prime it, then paint it, so it gives it like depth on the shadows.
Right. So they're enhancing the shadows that it would normally have. Right.
Too, yep. Like I saw someone take one of the kits that wasn't very good. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the official Blame kits that released, and it doesn't look super good. And someone like I saw like literally like chopped it up basically and like doctored it to make it look really good.
That's crazy. I mean, maybe Japan looks the other way because they're so supportive of craft, of all different kinds of craft, and this is like an extension of that.
I think it's kind of like early pirating was here in America. Like, so in America, like the early pirating, it's not like this anymore, obviously, but early pirating was the unspoken rule is like, you don't make profit off of it. And I think that's still kind of the main mindset, like they still have, like, you know what I mean? Like definitely not how Americans treat anime nowadays. Like that's it. Basically they try to steal as much as they can, you know what I mean? But like when it first, I remember that like when I was a kid, like you weren't supposed to pay for that stuff. You were supposed to give it to people. Like, and so I got like free copies of anime all the time when I was a kid because like you weren't supposed to pay for it because it was an unofficial copy. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of like the rule. So I think they stick to that like entirely in Japan. Like they have to.
Like locally, they like in the early 2000s, there were cons. You know, I mean, they're obviously smaller scale, but they would sell pirated stuff. But it's like given the time, it was practically a lot of it was almost. I could see them making $10 on them. You know what I mean? Not much.
Yeah, yeah, like nothing basically.
Like I remember buying videos for like $40. You know, and it's like that is like what 40 divided by it might have been $6 US at that time. You know, so I mean, you're buying a video for like $6-7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys are making back the money, and they're probably making a couple bucks. You know, and this con. You know, it's basically they're just trying to, and it, you know what, the atmosphere back then I think was really, because this wasn't a big thing. So the people that wanted to be at an anime thing had to really want to be there. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Like, I think one thing that I kind of forget about is like how people back then, like how much easier it was to record stuff. Like, you just pop a VHS player into your VHS or a VHS tape in your VHS recorder and you're good. You can record local live TV all day. So when I think about that stuff, I always be like, how do they get this or how do they share this and that? And then like they just recorded it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just popped it in and recorded it. So I guess it's kind of interesting. Like that's that aspect of our like way we share stuff is completely gone. Like that's just non-existent.
Like with even with DVD after VHS, it still could record TV, but like after like cable was gone, then like
that was it. It's over.
I mean, how do people do it now? Like, but I mean, on the other hand, it just takes one guy to record his screen with a screen recorder on his computer, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then it's open to the world.
Right. So
somebody like Kenny Lauderdale just getting just rare VHS tapes, getting them online, or getting them on YouTube, and then you just see some of that old stuff again. But otherwise, yeah, that's kind of like to film cans that are kind of like degrading over time.
I do
because
watch
then
this
you
really
can
cool
lie.
YouTube channel that he goes through, and he somehow for some reason he recorded like almost every Toonami broadcast from like I think like
Orbital Bacon.
2000 to 2006, and so he just uploads them all on YouTube.
Is it Bacon?
It might be him. I have to go double check. I watch them because they have the Gundam Wings on there, so I watch it occasionally, even though I don't really like Gundam Wing, funny enough. But
Yeah, I had that is one series I've never looked at any of. I have to check that out. That was they only had one huge anime on TV at the time as a kid. Like I'm talking about the regular broadcast.
oh, Gundam,
That was no, say that again.
Gundam, or were you talking about?
No, yeah, they had Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh,
well, we
Rurouni
used to call it
Kenshin.
Samurai X. Yeah.
That's hilarious. That was
Like,
a popular one they had on there.
Well, here it is. My theory is that this was the Sony dub that we got,
Oh,
and supposedly Sony dubbed it, and they couldn't sell it anywhere, so they released it to like third world countries for a low price. That's my theory.
That's actually really funny because so like the most popular like outside of like Dragon Ball Z and like that type of stuff and Gundam Wing was probably Yu Yu Hakusho because they used to have it on Toonami here, and like it was like I think the dub must have been really cheap because it was from Funimation, so they had that shit on almost every night when you would wake up or go to bed or whatever. It's funny.
But you know what? I actually really like the Sony dub, even if it's inaccurate. And you know what? I actually met the voice actor, and he said he likes it more too. I don't know if you ever heard the other dub, but the guy talks weird. He's like, I'm a samurai that I am. Nobody talks like that. Who the hell? It probably sounds cool in Japanese, but it doesn't sound good when it's translated literally. Yeah, I mean, do you have that? Do you ever have nostalgia for bad dubs, and if you only like to watch that version?
So funny enough, a lot of like really famous like anime that like like Evangelion, Dragon Ball Z, stuff like that, they have a lot of like just a lot of really bad dubs here. So like like the first Dragon Ball Z dub is not very good, and the second one's also not very good, and the third one's not very good either. So it's it's one of those things like none of the dubs are that good. So I have nostalgia for them, but like when I actually watch them and like I have the subtitles on underneath it, I'm like, ooh, these aren't anywhere near accurate.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
yeah.
Is it important? Is accuracy really that?
I think it really depends because sometimes, like when I was a kid, I think the hype moments in DBZ didn't really just like the changes didn't really mess with me because I didn't, I was so little, I didn't really care. But like when just hearing Goku just like say like the complete wrong Ryan at the wrong time, it really kind of does bother me.
Oh shit, that bad, huh?
No, it's bad. Like you should. There's a pretty good video. I'll have to maybe send it sometime or send it to you guys or whatever. It's talking about like how bad the English dubs are for Dragon Ball Z. They're atrocious, like atrocious. Like they just make up stuff halfway through. It's amazing. So that's why I have mixed opinions on a lot of old school dubs. Like I do like some. There is some like I like the original Evangelion one, even though it does have a lot of flaws. I kind of have nostalgia for it, but like for the most part, I'm all right with the original audio.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Even if the dub is inaccurate, the actors were good. I think
So I will say the Sony actors are pretty good because I do know those guys. Those guys weren't bad, but a lot of it depends. Like I said, for here it really depends.
Where is here? By the way, I'm from Trinidad. Where you from?
Well, I'm from America, so I think a lot of the best voice actors that were in anime were usually in like JRPG related stuff. So like a lot of the Persona 4 voice actors were also in animes, and they're pretty good. And like I mean, a lot of the Persona actors in general are pretty good in animes. I think it's more so like it's a lot of people that would only did like one or two dubs and then never did anything ever again that I don't really like. That funny enough, like I think that happened to some of the original Evangelion people and some of the original people for Dragon Ball. I don't think they ever came back.
Damn, that's weird because like, I mean, you know, when you're like one of the first things I saw in terms of anime was the '95 Ghost in the Shell, and you know you hear those people everywhere. You know what I mean?
It's funny
So
that you brought that up because I that dub, like, now it doesn't, now it's got a really good reputation, but apparently, like, I didn't know about this because I was just too young to know. Apparently that dub had like a really bad reputation with like otaku, like older otaku. I didn't know that because like older people I know here, they hate the dub for that movie, which is funny because I actually really like it, but they say it's because it makes her emotionless and like other stuff. So I don't necessarily know how people feel about it nowadays.
Yeah.
But I do
I
know
mean, I
people
could.
did not like it here.
I mean, you have also
I,
like with other dubs, like English dubs for Yatsura, for instance. So like the first two episodes of Yatsura, that also make like a lot of stuff up. It's all like hilarious. It's just going in full fucking tangents or in complete like it's like it is shown to kids, but they're like swearing all the way, like everything they be saying in those. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the hell did they sell that? But I'm like, yeah, obviously it's just two
So
episodes of
it's
that.
funny.
Like,
I would say that almost that like a lot of the 90s and early thousands have like really creative voice actors. Like they're really talented, but usually it's that the fucking like the scripts themselves are not very good. Where now I would say it's
yeah,
almost like modern times where it's not they're less talented, but it's that the voice directors kind of reel these people back in, but they have better scripts. So it almost seems like they put less passion in when they're probably just as talented. It's just they're not as allowed to go out like they were in the early thousands. Like they were allowed to like scream their hearts out in those studios in the
right.
early thousands.
You, you know what I think?
like
I think
take off your closets basically.
Yep.
I think I think it might be because you know back in the day he has this weird thing. We're not gonna put a lot of controls and stuff on it. You guys just do what you're doing. We're not gonna interfere. Now that it's such a huge thing, the more the more
And I
hands on and nagging, and they get a
and,
worse product. You know?
and I think they kind of sort of took like more, I wouldn't say more chances because I guess you don't want someone who's completely inexperienced getting in the booth, but like you read about some of these old voice actors and they're like, yeah, they found him outside because his voice sounded good or stuff like that. And you're just like, I'm not saying everyone needs to be like that, but like I do think there's like a bit of they almost mean like a spontaneous spark, like every once in a while. Like some of these dubs are just so dry. It's like they just hire a bunch of best people, then like have them read like off a plain script and don't even try to get them to use their voices. Like a good example is like Alex Lee. That guy's got insane range, and like he's only typecast as like 3 voices, so you only hear him three voices. Like, so it's just I don't know.
What is he? What would I know him from? I don't know a lot of these voices.
God, he's so I gotta double check. He's in everything, but I'll read you off some of his stuff. Let me look it up. He's literally in like 15 different animes, so I can name them off. So he's in Solo Leveling right now, obviously. He's in Demon Slayer. He's in Street Fighter. He's in what's it called? God, he's in Code Geass. He's in Sakamoto Days. He's literally in like everything.
But I don't know. I mean, speaking of dubs, I haven't watched an a dubbed anime in years. Like I'm so used to watch stuff in Japanese with subtitles that I don't bother with dubs, whether those are in my native language or in English, unless I
So
have no other choice, I guess.
I was gonna ask, what are you from the Netherlands then?
No, I am from Italy.
Okay. So you guys probably get a lot of dubs then. Shit, like you guys are the only people that actually have like the original Gundam dub and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Even though some of this stuff is rare because it's old and on video releases are like out of stock for this stuff, and
Really?
the on video market is very, very small. Yeah, but I mean, we get One Piece dubbed in Italian. We get all the most famous anime series, I guess.
I was reading this story. Is really interesting. So when the Gundam creator like created the original Gundam series and he released it in other places, Italy was the only place where he ever released one of the episodes. One of the episodes has been removed from the series, and Italy is the only place where it's officially been released at. It's like some Italian dub.
What was it removed for?
He hated it. He thought it was a terrible episode.
Damn.
He thought it was a bad episode, and that it's funny because like when they keep like pressing him and asking him what was wrong with it, and he just says that I will reveal whatever went wrong with it when that person dies. So I don't know what that means exactly.
Damn.
When he kills him or something.
So yeah, so I think he's implying that someone on the directing staff messed up, and now because of that he hates that episode and won't say it till they die. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. That's a-
Damn. You think that person knows? You know,
True hater energy, I will say.
Lol.
that guy probably knows. You know, he's like,
Yeah. Well, one
But it was
thing.
also like for Fist of the North Star, there was also like an Italian version of that, or like an uncensored.
Oh yeah, it's pretty
version of that.
legendary too. Yeah, Italy actually has a pretty crazy history with anime. They got a lot of random stuff that just
Yeah,
like,
we
no
made
one else did.
we made a lot of anime endings as well, anime openings and endings that are like only in Italian.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I think we Americans probably stole that from you because I think like towards the late 90s they started dubbing like a shit ton of stuff. So like the first four One Piece openings are all in English. All of the Yu Yu Hakusho stuff is in English. I think Kenshin might even had an English thingy. Like there's a lot of them in English. It's pretty crazy.
this Sony dub. No, one of the dubs had a. I don't think it was the Sony dub. The dub that came after has English openings.
Yep.
At least for some of it.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard any of the One Piece English openings. Do yourself a favor, go listen to them. They're actually pretty good. Like shockingly like good. Like they are in tone, everything. Like they sound good. Like I listen to them occasionally on top of
like the German Naturo opening.
Is it good? I mean, sometimes
No.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes those
It's
other
infamous
English
for being
openings.
shit.
Some of those
It's
times
like-
those other openings be hitting though. Like they really.
Yeah,
do.
sure. I mean, I like the opening for Fist of the North Star in Italian. That's really high rated. I know. Like I like that one. A
Yeah,
lot, but,
I
like,
mean,
the
I think Fist of
song
the North Star's opening in general is pretty banger. Like it's pretty good.
Mhm.
I'd be singing it every once in a while.
Yeah, but, like which other ones like in other language are good? I don't know.
God, what was something else got an English opening and it was really fun. I gotta look it up, but it's something that you guys probably have seen too. I can't remember its name though. I know it's not.
And by the way, on the topic of dubs, did anybody else ever do something like that? That Ghost, what was it? Ghost something. The infamous dub.
Oh, Ghost
That-
Stories?
that-
Are you talking about that?
Oh
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was like is famous for being bad, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It's pretty infamous here. Like the thing is like I think it's almost more famous like online than it is with like anyone I've known here. Because like even most of the old like otaku I knew here, they like had either seen it or didn't care for it and hadn't seen it. Like they thought it was just all right. Like I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more popular with younger people than like it was actually with older people.
But the whole thing is that they just did what they wanted, right? They
Yeah.
They didn't have any
Yeah, like the rumor is that it was like an unpopular series here, right? Like or no, unpopular series in Japan, and that's so they brought it over here and they just let them do whatever it wants, but that wasn't true. They just did whatever they wanted to.
Yeah. Because it didn't sell in Japan, so they just sold it to the Americans. Hey, try to do something with that, and it worked.
that kind of reminds me of like I think about like Shin-chan. I don't know. I don't watch much of it, but because so many of the jokes they're so rapid fire, I could imagine the local people just making stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that happened a lot.
Yeah, and what was it? Like a lot of the jokes occur when none of the characters' mouths could be seen, or they mightn't even be on screen. So you could just imagine them adding in stuff.
Well, it's funny too because like when you tell people about this, they're like, "Oh, it must have been like some like random unknown studio." Like, no, these are the same people that dubbed Evangelion. Like, like this isn't these people were handling big IPs here, not small ones. Like, which is kind of crazy to think about it. Like, they were just letting people handle like multi-million-dollar thingies, like basically with no oversight.
But I think like especially early on, the outlook was probably like, look, this is a weird thing. It might do good. It might not do good. But we didn't spend a huge amount on the rights. So just see where you could do it.
So funny enough, that happened to Evangelion. What happened is Gainax didn't think it was going to be a hit, and for its first, like I think 5 or 6 episodes, it wasn't a hit, and so they signed a deal with this small company called ADV Vision or whatever, or ADV. I think ADV Vision is a different company. So
ADV.
ADV. They signed this deal, right? And so about halfway through of them signing this deal, Evangelion blows up, becomes like a mass smashing success. And so they've contracted into ADV for like the next 3 years. They tried to do everything they could get out of it, but they couldn't. So ADV is just releasing like the VHS as it's coming out. So Evangelion came out almost in America, almost like the same time it released in Japan.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I remember that like they said it was one of the biggest like signing disasters for any anime company because like they didn't get any of their money and like ADV had like complete control of the work here or something like that.
But you know what? ADV did a good job at least.
No, they did. They if they hadn't, I don't think people would look back as fondly on Evangelion here if they hadn't, because that first dub was really, really loved here.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I saw it. I saw it.
Did you see it dub too?
Yeah. A friend had the PlayStation 2. You know, you remember back when that was like kind of a huge deal because you got a DVD player also.
Yeah,
and
that must have been crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And having both languages on the disc, unheard of.
Oh yeah, the new Galaxy 99 anime. I'm actually ecstatic for that.
yeah,
You know,
it's like the last thing was like in 2013 or something like that. Was like the last thing that they made for it, or like early 2000s. I don't remember.
Yeah. So I guess are we counting Yamato stuff? Like I guess it's not related, but like it is kind of related to Lady Matsumoto.
I guess, but I don't know.
Because if you haven't, I do recommend watching Space Battleship Yamato. I do think everyone should watch that at least once.
I mean,
yeah, I started it, but I didn't finish it yet.
So
I do recommend watching the 70s version if you can. Like I know a lot of people be like,
yeah.
watch the 2011 version. The 2011 version is good, don't get me wrong, but I think there's something magical about like seeing like one of the most like not oldest, but one of the most important old anime like that.
And the old soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fantastic.
That is you're not gonna get a song like that. Like would they make something like that? That's just kind of like, oh, we got all these synths. Let's press every button. You know that there's
you're right about that. Like I think you know like stuff like that is like really important to watch. Like not even just that, like but the original Gundam and like all those type of series are really important to watch because like now that I've watched them and like I'm watching newer series again, like I can finally have like the tools and knowledge to like understand like why stuff is the way it is sometimes in certain series. Like it's like they're pulling back from like the oldest roots they can go sometimes when some of these series are airing. You know what I mean? So I think it's
right. Like, and it's kind of weird because like we've seen all the references, but we've never seen the original.
Yeah. So like that happened to me not even too long ago. I was watching. I can remember Space Battleship Yamato, and something happened, and then like I turned on Eureka 7, and then like they said a line for line something exactly from Yamato, and I'm like, that's like 30, 40 years almost between these two series. Like that's insane. Like, but it shows you how long like that lineage it bleeds through everything. You know what I mean? Like.
It's just so popular and so ingrained into anime culture. Like, so many people have seen it.
I mean, you probably know about Yamato without you even realizing you know about Yamato because that's how prevalent it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. It's sort of in everything. So,
no, this was before my time, but it showed here on that Star Blazers, probably in the 70s, I think.
Yeah. So the Yamato, I think, is called Star Blazers here. I think they have like some weird like copyright issue.
Right. That is often the case, you know.
Yeah. Have you guys read Galaxy Express 99? Any of you? I do recommend.
I only now started to watch the original anime.
I totally recommend checking out that, and then if you have time, checking out Gundam: The Origin. That's it's written by, so it's not written by the original director, but it's written by the original animation director for Gundam. So it's kind of like a new take on Gundam, written by like someone who worked on the original series. It's really good. Like I'd argue it's probably just as good as the original series.
Oh yeah, they have it in hardcover here in the store. So
Yeah, I totally. If you guys, when you're like, oh, I don't know what to read, pick up The Origin. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong.
Interesting, man. There's just,
I mean,
Yeah, Galaxy Express 99, The Origin I would have been reading lately, and both of them are just, ooh, amazing.
yeah. I mean, even having a VHS copy of like 999, the first movie when it was
Really,
in Japan.
you have an actual copy of it? Like I've just been reading it digitally. I'm like kind of jealous actually.
Yeah, but I can't really play it because it's like a different region. So.
Oh no!
Yeah, you need a Japanese player for that to work. So,
dude, you've got to get one of those region-free Blu-ray players. I saved up for them, and mine eventually broke. But I did for a while there. I was watching stuff from like all over the world. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I had a player that could do a region-free DVDs and just Blu-ray for like Europe and
so yeah,
not much else.
My dad's like super into those spaghetti westerns, so I was like getting the original copies of them that don't have like because they went back and they dubbed over the audio for some of those movies. That's why like the Sergio Leone kind of has like the off-tilt stuff when you watch it. It's because it's I think they were originally in Italian. I don't think they were originally in English.
Yeah.
So I watched them in Italian, and they are definitely the superior version.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I put
stuff. Did they record it twice?
Actually, yeah, I do think they did. Like, if you watch the movie, like they will literally be when they say stuff, it doesn't match up all the way. Like, so I think they had to record the audio for those. Yeah.
I mean, if I remember with like with my
hold on. Sorry, what I'm saying is that they actually recorded some scenes twice in some of them. I think I could be mistaken, but literally they had them say stuff in English and then stuff in Italian. Something crazy like that.
I was looking how they made it work, and so this is how they made it work because I was kind of questioning that too. So what they did is they had no live recorded sound at all whatsoever on the set. Instead, everyone talked in their native language, which is mostly Italian. And then he went back and he added every single line of dialogue after the film was in post-production.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So that movie, that's why I said the Italian version or the original version is a little bit better. But, I mean, heck, I guess he must have done that for every version. So that makes sense. But I do think most of the actors were speaking Italian. I don't think they were speaking English. Except for, I don't think Clint Eastwood can fucking speak.
Right,
Italian.
yeah.
Like, that motherfucker cannot speak Italian, for being honest.
I mean, he didn't understand the director when he asked for like directions or like.
Yeah. I always think about that too, which is crazy because like, how are you with one of the greatest directors of all time and you guys both don't understand each other, and you're also like probably going to become one of the most famous actors? But I guess it's it's one of those mental things. Like,
look, just do your best, okay? Just do your best, all right?
Just do what you do best, and you work it out. Yeah,
I mean,
they made a masterpiece. So
yeah.
To be fair, he's kind of like a stoic character, so not speaking a lot is pretty bad. You know what I mean?
You know what? It probably did enhance the character a little bit because they couldn't talk to each other. So he's probably not even directing Clint. Meanwhile, Clint's just staring at the camera, pissed off as shit, and he's like, "I love this. I love that intensity." You know how directors are.
The intensity was my hatred for you.
Yeah, that just worked.
Yeah. It was my confusion.
I never realized how much storyboarding anime directors did. Like, I knew they did some storyboarding, but like they do a lot of storyboarding. Like, they'd be drawing out like almost entire like full scenes of the anime, like almost entire. Like, I didn't realize that. Like, because like I know what storyboarding is. I know they draw it out and kind of this and that, but like Western storyboarding's pretty concise. So, it's usually like this is a rough idea of what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anime storyboarding's like here's the entire episode laid out before we actually draw it. I'm like, okay, like that's actually pretty impressive.
I mean, yeah. I bought
it-
the storyboard book for Paprika movie
Really?
in Munich when I was like a couple of weeks ago. And another thing is also like really extensive, like a lot of materials in there, plus interviews. So yeah,
and you know what? I didn't think that Satoshi Kon could have drawn so good because it's really well drawn. You know what I mean? Is not stick figures. You know?
Yep. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, it's kind of interesting, like seeing like how the original guy like kind of interpret those ideas, and then how they were actually like redrawn to like fit a screen. You get what I'm saying? Because like often what's drawn as like the base idea is usually almost never what's like actually animated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when you look at like a lot of Western and storyboards, they just do a rough thing. It's not locked down as this. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of variation because like I got a storyboard to work on something, and like they had locked it down, and they had it timed down, but then other times they get something and it's like it's open to interpretation, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it has to do with these guys' pipeline is so locked down. They have to do this. You know, there's probably like a lot of very specific roles, and they have to make it so that there's no overlap.
Oh my god, is that Khan storyboarding? Because that's kind of insane how much he's storyboarding.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this is what I was saying. This is what I'm saying. I mean, like
that's crazy because, like, I mean, if you want an example, just look at the Gundam author compared to him storyboarding wise. Like, he storyboarded like 16 animes or something like that, and like it doesn't look anything near as precise as this. This looks like a manga.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's like it just goes in really big
He's
detail.
but that's what makes Satoshi Kon so special though, is that like, you know, you have to be like a literal genius to go in this depth of the type of storyboarding. Like, you have to be able to understand how this is going to translate to film while also drawing hyper detailed stuff. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
but I mean, like,
you know,
that's kind of the goat, I guess, though.
if you
I mean,
like, if you're somebody that
the plot twists in here. These two characters that come in later. Or in the story.
if you personally use the same program that, like, if you're familiar with programs, you could actually draw the storyboard in like the same program that's going to be used to produce the show. You know what I mean? So,
well,
like you could actually use this stuff in the production.
I think that's one of the reasons I saw a lot of people say that's one of the reasons that American animation has slipped so much in the past couple of years, is that we don't storyboard like we used to. And like, if you go look at old Disney animations, it's very clear we don't. Like old Disney animation is very, very like almost everything is drawn out, like storyboarded first and then fucking done later. Like, but when you look at something like Fantasia or Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that, like the actual work before it's even colored and animated is just so much more like care is put into it than we do nowadays. Not for anime, more like American animation. Because like, I mean, I don't even remember the last time I've seen something like the level of Beauty and the Beast coming from this country.
Yeah, I mean, we probably wouldn't see it like again. But I mean, it's just that the budgets for these things have been cut so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know that's true though. Like, if you to storyboard, you got to have
with Disney nowadays. So storyboards are like,
That
like,
too. I do think CGI has kind of ruined that, but like at the same time, like I don't feel like I don't feel like that detail that like a true artist can provide, and like something that like when you physically mark down the pages, it just like it doesn't feel like it's as there when you do stuff by the computer. I think it's one of the reasons I like struggle to like mech anime as much when they're 3D. And I not say I won't, but like, it's something
ain't
about
right.
the physical
It ain't
weight isn't right. Yeah, you're right. It's just not right. Like when an artist sits down, he can like physically draw the weight in a way that like you can feel it. When it's like, you know, often done
Uh,
with like additives. You can't feel the same weight. I think.
let me say this too. I do think that there's certain inaccurate things that they do
Yep.
sometimes that works better. Um, like when you look at the making of some CG stuff, like the making of what do they call it, Spider Verse, they have to actually do the wrong thing. So like when you look at the rig, it's totally broken because this is not optically accurate. This shot cannot be made with a realistic model. If it
Yep.
was being drawn, you just draw it. But if it's in CG, you actually have to kind of go in and kind of massage it. Like you want the hands in a position in front of the face that cannot exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As someone who's not even a big fan of the Spider Verse, I think a lot of their work on that really impressed me because I think they kind of took it to heart that like it doesn't need to be anatomically correct or even make sense as long as it looks good. And like that is probably one of
Right.
the biggest things I try to tell people. Like when creating something, it doesn't really matter about all that extra stuff as long as it looks good. Like, 'cause
I
I mean,
mean,
think how
Yeah,
many
I
yeah,
times
mean,
have you seen an
with the
well, think how many times
2D
have you seen an
movies, I like
author?
those way more than the live action movies because they're just so generic. It's
Yeah,
not
I
going
know.
anywhere.
Well, I think that's actually, I kind of got some people mad at me like a couple months ago, but when I asked, I was like, what is with the coloring in modern anime? Why is it like so muted? But then you realize like these guys don't have a lot of time, they don't have the resources to do it, and on top of which, like
Yeah, and
they
Blu-rays it gets fixed a lot of
yeah,
the
and
times.
Blu-rays and other stuff they get fixed up, so they just push out like a lot of these like lowly saturated animes, and it's it is noticeable. That's why when something that comes out like Cyberpunk Edge Runners or anything like that, like you can tell almost immediately it's different because it looks like 3 times as colorful.
right.
Yeah,
And it's sometimes it's about you know what? And I'm studying what Trigger does. They have a lot of interesting rim lighting. Sometimes it's like a color I wouldn't normally think to use. Like I'm gonna put a pink rim lighting on this guy, a
Yeah.
yellow,
Well, I think one of
yeah,
my
and
favorite
that's
things that 90s people did a lot was where they would just like they can't really do it now, so I can't really complain, but like they would just like smear a tint color over a cell. So it'd be like a normal colored cell, and then they'd like smear like a deep purple or a deep blue over it. So like the entire picture changes colors when it switches to them. You know what I mean? But it's still like
right.
it like I guess they wouldn't taint it. They would put like a printed like tint paint over it. I can't remember what they used. I can't remember what it's called, but they put it over it and it gives it like that effect. But since that's like, you're actually like photographing something, like those are actual pictures. So I don't know if they can do it the same way they can in digital. Like, there's some stuff that they would do in like older animes that they can't do because they were physically putting a lens on the paper itself. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
how are you
No,
supposed to recreate that?
here what I think. No, like I've heard that kind of stuff before. Like with Evangelion, they would go in with a marker on the cell and darken a shadow. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. And
I've
like at
heard.
one point they literally like photographed a picture of cells through this thingy, then ran it through something to like make it look like in the movie. That's why that scene's like super low res. There's a bunch of weird stuff like that for animes like they did back then. It's pretty creative.
yeah, or Scotch tape to keep the stuff
Yeah, it's
together,
the
or
Scotch
like
tape. So I own a Turn a Gundam cell, and it has a picture of Scotch tape, and then next to it, it's got like a little thing that says like A1, and then it's got like a bottom piece to it.
yeah. That's like there's also lots of people like, oh no, I miss like when Sailor Moon got re-released. Like lots of people were complaining, like, where's the pink background? So I'm like, yeah, that's the oxidation of like the
Yeah.
years that's been stored in because Japan is like humidity like 99% is something like that. So
Well, I always think that's crazy too, though, is like how often has that happened where it's like something like that we know it exists, but like we don't actually like know if we're even looking at the right colors at all. Like,
Yeah, you know what? That's an interesting thing. Is like this is a defect, but now it has become something that people love so much.
yeah,
You
I
yeah,
know,
guess
just
you're
like
right.
like
Yeah,
with Magnetic Rose, for instance. Like when they had to redo that for the 4K release or whatever it was, and they had to rotoscope a part of a guy's neck when they were in the ship because they didn't know if it was part of the distortions that happened in the anime or there was actually something that was wrong with the thing. So you just had to check
figure it out.
constantly. Yeah, to figure out how.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like the controversy over the new Jinro print, where people were just like, "Oh my god, it shouldn't look like that." Then like someone released a picture of the magazine, and it's like, yeah, it turns out it looks like that the entire time. It's like we just don't know because the prints we got were never the right ones. Like,
I mean, look, there's a quote I always think about, but it basically says that all the things that were defects, that were limitations, people will look at them with nostalgia and they'll want them. They'll try to recreate them.
No,
You know, I mean, look at VHS buzz. You know, like I've been looking at rips of VHS stuff on YouTube, and I almost prefer that to looking at a clean 4K upscale.
Look at the way people play around with like film grain and stuff now too, which is funny because like if you told any film director back then, like not all of them, but a lot of them didn't like the film grain. Like they wanted as clear a picture as they could get. You know what I mean? But now people love film grain when they talk about it.
Yeah, people want that look
nostalgia.
Yeah, all the time people talk about, I wish we could bring back film grain or that old look, and I do get it because it does have a certain look, you know, like.
But back then, you just want the newest project. I mean, it's possible to do that. The next
animation has changed ever since they moved from cell animation to digital animation, and we never.
Yeah, you see
back to, but basically. If you check out an anime from, I don't know, 2005, 2007, 2000, around that time, it's not much different compared to an anime that came out yesterday. Because, I mean, we reached the aspect ratio and the resolution is higher. But
yeah, I would say that a lot of early 2000s anime probably have more consistent like anatomical models, but like nowadays they're probably a bit more lively on the animation. But outside of that, they probably really haven't changed that much. It seems like we tend to go for more faded colors now, but I think a lot of people say that's just because Japan switched from whatever analog to digital TV like in the mid 2000s. So
and like a lot of creators were just tired of like the 2D cell animation and want something new, so they went to digital to have a new look to it. And now we're like, oh no, we want to go back. Like,
well, yeah, it's funny because I think 2 animes this season aired that both have like cell openings or like anime cell openings, and people were
that's crazy. And there was the movie too. A New Dawn was like A New Dawn had some physical. A movie had some physical effects done. They had some practical. Yeah, they had some cells too, and they were like physically putting gels and stuff on the cells to get bubble effects and this kind of thing. And you know what? Here, I think part of it might be because people almost protesting against, in a way, against AI. Like they would not have gone to all of this if AI hadn't come out. So it's all, like everybody has something to prove now. Like we could still do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We still have something on AI.
Well, it's pretty interesting because like I think that a lot of what's going to happen is in the next 15 years, as a lot of these people start getting into the industry, they're going to start pushing towards a lot of like what we're more nostalgic with. So it's going to I think it's going to kind of drift back more to like, like the old 90s look. Everyone their mother just seems to want it right now.
And I mean, look at Ghost in the Shell. Think of how ironic this is. To make a new show that looks like that. And the content that it shows. Yeah, this show is about AI and robots and futuristic shit. But it looks like it was made in the 90s in some ways. And we
still being like very pretty for modern standards too. So it doesn't just look dated. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it makes
right. And you mentioned the expressiveness and the breaking of the anatomy and stuff. So just having that, you didn't used to. We haven't seen that for a long time. Almost like American cartooning. Almost like Tom and Jerry. Like you have these faces and these Oh yeah, I love the birds, the cartoon birds they have.
But yeah, we're like 2 hours, 2.5 hours now, so we probably should end it. Some
Huh.
point else with like 4 hours in or something like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good stream though.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I keep on saying you need to wrap it up. You need to shorten it, and it keeps getting longer. This is the longest one.
Yeah, but new people in, then you get this kind of stuff. Then you just keep talking and talking and talking because there's so much to talk about. Okay, maybe you can be back for another episode. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe
Whenever you have
I'll come-
time.
when I got time, I'll come back.
Yeah, sure.
No
All
problem.
right.
Well,
then.
yeah. Well, that was like an episode, and we see you in like 2 weeks probably. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.